today.
At the time of saying the prayer, I was in, Mr. Speaker.
I said, you don't know the time we started today.
Mr. Speaker, no, I didn't check.
That's sufficient. Table office, please cross-check your records.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
The right thing. Page 10. Page 10. Yes, please.
Speaker, with respect, I think I have an observation on page 9, item 10, the last but one line. If we could insert Speaker after Honorable Second Deputy. Thank you.
Yes, table office, the part in italics. Insert after Deputy Speaker. Page 10. Page 11. Page 12. Honorable members, in the absence of any further corrections, the votes and proceedings of the 22nd sitting dated Wednesday, 26th November 2025, as corrected, are adopted as the true record of proceedings. Are we ready for urgent questions? Yes, Majority Chief Whip.
Speaker, that is so. The Minister is here. Sorry.
Honorable members, we take item 6, urgent questions.
Mr. Speaker, a further arrangement is that we are praying you to limit the supplementary questions to 1, so we can have enough time to take a lot of the questions.
Honorable members, before I go on, let me acknowledge the presence Honorable members, we could go on with the urgent questions while some things are sorted out. So, item 6A. The urgent question stands in the name of Mr. Patrick Yabuama, Member of Parliament for Okaukwe Central. Honorable member, you may ask your question now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Education what measures the ministry is implementing to finance the upcoming end of academic year examination in public basic schools and prevent the charging of exams fees. Thank you.
Yes, Minister.
Speaker, let me thank you for the opportunity to respond to the question on the financing of end of academic year exams and preventing charging of exam fees by persons, as was asked by the Honorable Patrick Boama. And Mr. Speaker, to put it in context, examination is assessment and is within the remit of the West Africa Examination Council. And Mr. Speaker, we recognize the right of every child and person to have the right to equal educational opportunities and facilities. And with a view to achieving the full realization of that right, we are reminded that basic education remains free, compulsory, and available to all. It's regrettable that since the implementation of the 1992 Constitution, 30 years on, Ghana has not been able to attain free, compulsory, universal basic education. We would need the support of this House to ensure that every Ghanaian child gets educated so that our national literacy rate can improve. Korea today is boasting of a national literacy population of 98%. Ghana is still around 78% with wide disparities. Mr. Speaker, government pays this through the capitation grant, which is used as a key instrument to actualize Article 25(1) of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, 72,765,850 have so far been disbursed as capitation grant for 2024-2025, benefiting some 6,154,953 learners across the country. Mr. Speaker, the capitation grant for the first term of 2025-2026 first term has been processed for release. Measures to address unauthorized charging of fees. The Director General of the GES have issued a directive banning all such charges, and circulars are being sent and regular reminders are being sent to all GS institutions. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Education and GS deploy monitoring teams for audit, inspection, and randomized spot checks. GS establish reporting timelines and other mechanisms, including PTA meetings and suggestion boxes. The ministry remains committed to eliminating financial barriers at the basic level of education. So there's no problem with it. Capitation grants have been paid and it covers examination fees. So no parent or child is required to pay for any examination fee. If any head teacher or teacher is caught, they will be sanctioned and sanctioned in accordance with the GS standards. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I'm told the agreement is one supplementary question, so you can do so.
Mr. Speaker, I don't have any supplementary question. I
Okay.
thank the Minister for answering my question.
Thank you. We now take 6B, who signs in the name of Mr. Emmanuel Kweku Buam, the Honourable Member for Pru East. Honourable Member, you may do so now.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Education what measures the ministry has implemented to prevent examination malpractices and cancellation of examination papers, especially in BEC and WASI, considering the negative impacts such cancellation has on students, especially of the Pru East constituency. Thank you.
Minister.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, the West Africa Exams Council is mandated to conduct credible, world-class examinations and protect the integrity of exams to ensure educational quality, national development, and every child has the right to a fair, trustworthy assessment process. Mr. Speaker, cancellation occurs only after thorough investigations showing concrete evidence of collusion, foreign materials, impersonation, and the use of electronic devices. Mr. Speaker, the West Africa Examination Council is working with the GES through public sensitization, randomization of test papers, enhanced security at the printing press, stronger collaboration with law enforcement for arrest and prosecution, and increased deployment of trained supervisors. Mr. Speaker, there is a growing phenomena of phone-related exam malpractice, where learners smuggle phones into the examination room, and that is quite troubling. It's undermined the integrity of our exams. And Mr. Speaker, integrity is at the hallmark of the molding of character with discipline. Mr. Speaker, anytime the West Africa Examination Council, they will normally put the school on notice that we are investigating a certain unacceptable conduct. Where they finish the investigation and there's evidence to it, they will proceed to sanction. So there are many areas where the West Africa Examination Council will decide that this particular town or school is not fit for purpose for the conduct of exam arising out of misconduct from them by students or teachers or in collusion with both. Government takes a serious view of it, and the assessment institution takes a serious view of it. What we need to do is to grow our learners with integrity. Mr. Speaker, we are currently revising the curriculum for kindergarten to primary 6, and we are incorporating integrity and ethics into the training of young Ghanaians so that they know the values of patriotism, responsibility, and integrity. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Any supplementary question? Honorable members, First Deputy Speaker to take the chair.
Yes. Honorable Minister, are you done with the...
Yes, supplementary question, please.
Any supplementary question?
Yes, right, Honorable Speaker. From the response of the minister, yes, it is certain that a lot of these malpractices are related to mobile phones. Mr. Speaker, to interest you to know that Bono region and Ahafo region, between 2021 and 2024,
Honorable member asks a supplementary question.
Happen to be the highest of all the malpractices. I want to find out from the ministry, is there any specific intervention for these regions, as most of them are affected? Is there any specific intervention?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the ministry does not interfere with the work of the West Africa Exams Council. As I stated, it's an assessment institution, independent, autonomous. They are expected to uphold the highest level of integrity and ensure that they safeguard it. But, Mr. Speaker, as I indicated, normally, after the conduct of exams through marking, they would alert the institutions that we are investigating some behavior or conduct. When they are satisfied that that behavior may have resulted in an examination malpractice, they will proceed to sanction it. Mr. Speaker, I currently have a proposal in my office that we should deploy CCTV cameras at the examination centers. We are looking at the cost of it and our capacity to be able to do that. But, Mr. Speaker, what is important is, as I said, learners must grow and learn with hard work and with integrity. I thank you.
Any further supplementary?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, we agreed at conclave that a sponsor of a question will have only supplementary, so we can have enough time.
Very well.
To take the rest.
Very well. Yes, Honorable J. Asamoah.
Mr. Speaker, thank the Minister for his response to the exam malpractices. Mr. Speaker, I want to know from the Honorable Minister, to improve on this, how is the ministry working to collaborate with WAEC so that we can also introduce the serialization and digitization of our exams to help curb down this exam malpractice?
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, Ghana is going digital with its free senior high school initiative. I inherited a contract worth about 337 million US dollars, where some 1.3 million tablets was to be distributed across the country to all free senior high schools in the country, so that learners can have access to digital tools. I'm told that deployment of that is around 980,000. We are through GET funds supporting the distribution across the country. But my attention this morning, Mr. Speaker, was drawn to the fact that many of the devices are not customized, and the students are using it for other purposes, including pornography, which is not acceptable. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, government is taking a high view of it, and there must be restrictions as to what the tablets can be used for, and it should be used strictly for purpose of study. The curriculum is offloaded onto the tablet. It will facilitate digital learning. Mr. Speaker, we are to be minded that when you are training students, you are training them to be globally competitive, and therefore we have to take investment in digital skills and digital technology and its deployment much more seriously with increased investment. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Can we move to question numbered 6C, standing in the name of Honorable Charles Forson, Member of Parliament for Tema Central.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Education the steps that the ministry is taking to curb the use of fake educational credentials such as PhD within the system. Thank you.
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, GTEC, is mandated by Section 84D of the Education Regulatory Bodies Act 2020, Act 1023, to regulate the use of higher education nomenclature and titles, including emeritus, professors, doctors, chartered, and related terms. Act 1023 also mandates the Commission to verify the authenticity of all certificates, diplomas, and degrees upon request. Thus, within the intendment of the Act, the Commission has initiated the following to curb the use of fake educational credentials: evaluating and authenticating of credentials awarded by local and foreign institutions accredited by the Commission. The Commission has issued a press statement warning the public against the use of the fake credentials. Following the above, persons who are believed to have publicly displayed fake credentials or credentials they are not entitled to are called out to demonstrate the authenticity of their credentials. Also, the public is called upon to refer doubtful qualifications to the Commission for evaluation and for action. But Mr. Speaker, if Professor Azuma Nelson ends his professor by way of boxing, and then informally you want to say that you are taking his professor title from boxing, who judges that, Mr. Speaker? I leave it to the public.
Yeah, thank you. Any supplementary?
Thank you, Mr. Minister. But I further wish to ask, what we should take certain steps to cure that, because we have situations where persons with fake quack certificates come into the house and other.
But the question is on steps taken.
Yes, I'm following up respectfully, Mr. Speaker.
So, what is the question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, how is the ministry supporting GTEC? Because GTEC only names and shame. What steps? We need to there should be certain primitive actions which will serve as deterrent. That is what I'm asking the minister.
Very well, Minister, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, as Minister, mine is policy. I don't interfere with the regulatory mandate or authority of any institution. GTEC has every power and the option to take legal action where necessary. The Director General is doing his utmost best and he has the support of the law. Thank you.
You've heard the agreement. That one supplementary question. Yes, we move to oral questions. Question numbered 179. Standing in the name of Honorable Alfredni Kote Ashi, Member of Parliament for Ododio constituency. Honorable Member, you have the floor.
Gentlemen. Mr. Speaker, I'm grateful for the opportunity once again. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Education on an update on the stalled Simpe School project in Ododio and the reasons for the delay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the Accra Sempe Basic School is located in the Ashedi-Keteke sub-metro of the Greater Accra region. The school currently occupying a temporary structure on the premises of the Freeman Methodist Church has a total enrollment of 454 learners comprising 235 boys, 219 girls, and a staff strength of 20. The condition of the school deteriorated significantly, resulting in learners undertaking teaching and learning activities in temporary structures. As a result of this, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly deemed it necessary to initiate the construction of a 3-story 18-unit classroom block to address the growing school-age population in the constituency and to improve educational infrastructure. Mr. Speaker, this intervention was undertaken to replace the deteriorated facility and ensure safe learning environment for the people and respond to increasing enrollment within the constituency. Mr. Speaker, the construction of the 3-story 18-unit classroom block is not a GET-funded project. However, the Ministry has assessed the situation and will engage the AMA and GET fund to ensure its completion. Mr. Speaker, currently there are about 5,000 schools under trace still in the country, and we need to up our investment in basic education, particularly in foundational learning. If the child gets it right at age 6, the child is more likely to get it right at age 80. Therefore, it is a policy decision of government to increase investment in basic education. Accordingly, as was announced by the Honorable Minister for Finance, a number of basic school infrastructure, including 200 junior high schools, will be built across the country and a number of primary schools. I thank you.
Honourable Member, any supplementary question?
Honorable Speaker, I have confidence in the Minister's intervention, so I'll end it here. Thank you.
Very well. This is a constituency-specific question. We'll move to question number 218, standing in the name of Fred Che Asamoah, Member of Parliament for Ofinsu North. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Education the steps being implemented to ensure prompt payment of the 2025 book and research allowance to members of the teacher unions.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the book and research allowance was introduced in public universities with its intended purpose of helping lecturers acquire academic materials and carry out research. The allowance, which seeks to equip lecturers to perform scholarly work, also serves as a statutory entitlement and essential resource for advancing research, teaching, and knowledge sharing. The Ministry, in collaboration with the Ministry of Finance and GTEC, the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, has instituted clear measures to ensure the prompt payment of the allowances to eligible members of the teacher union in public tertiary institutions. Mr. Speaker, last year the burden of government on book and research allowance was in the region of some 260 million. This year it has ballooned to 610 million. Mr. Speaker, 2 days ago I met with CTAC, the striking workers of the colleges of education, and I persuaded them to call off their strike and give government some 2 weeks to respond to their demand. It's only a matter of evaluating technically whether one, they deserve it or not. But Mr. Speaker, one of the important issues which emerged in our meeting is that as part of their conditions of service, if the requirement is to have an MPhil and you have an MA, and you agree with GTech that the standard is MPhil, government, apart from the transitional period, will work to what has been agreed by the parties, which include that if the requirement is that have an MPhil, it should be an MPhil. But we'll have a transition period for those of them with MA who have served in those institutions. They are tertiary, and government will support them with infrastructure. A number of them are complaining about vehicles. Some of them are using vehicles as old as 18 years, and that endangers their life. Mr. Speaker, government will see what it can do. So book and research allowance have been processed for university lecturers. Normally it's a computation of the exchange rate, which is the determination of the Honorable Minister for Finance. I've called on CTAC to call off their strike, because in the event that we pay them, we cannot compensate for the time period loss whilst they are not in class. And they must deal with government in good faith, have faith in government. But Mr. Speaker, it's important to add that these outstanding allowances date back to 2022. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you so much. Yes, supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. A copy of a letter available to me from the University Teachers Association of Ghana, that was in October, definitely had the notice of industrial action as a result of this book and research allowance. In July this year, I had put in this question. So, Mr. Speaker, my follow-up question to the Honorable Minister: what other measures are you putting in place to reduce the waiting time and the anxiety that boils up with our teacher unions so we can improve on our educational system?
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the Ministry and Government remains committed to strengthening the research environment in our public tertiary institutions, and we are concerned and working to improve their welfare and conditions of service in order to advance higher education. Our core policy as government is to emphasize access, relevance, and quality at the higher education level. And Mr. Speaker, our stakeholders, we need to engage more on how to address to improve the quality of teaching and research and innovation in our public universities. Mr. Speaker, as you may recall, the President promised to establish the National Research Fund. That has been established, a board has been constituted, a chief executive appointed, and the President will launch it early next year. And it will be given adequate resources to support research within the public universities. Mr. Speaker, last year, to support research in the public universities, we incorporated in the Get Fund formula 5 locally sponsored scholarships to be paid for by Get Fund for any institution that wants to strengthen its faculty to take advantage of it instead of wanting to travel abroad. It is still available, and interest applicants may go through the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission and their institutions. I thank you.
Honourable members, let's move to question numbered 219, standing in the name of Honourable Colin Sadoman Komensa, Efija Kwabre North Constituency. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister of Education when the Get Fund sponsored classroom block at St. Michael's Senior High School at Ahinkro will be completed. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, St. Michael's Senior High School is located in the Fija Kwabre North District of the Ashanti region. The school has an enrollment of 840 learners, comprising 562 boarders and 278 day students. There is currently one Get Farm project ongoing in the school, the construction of 12-unit classroom block. The project was awarded to Messrs. Bajin Solar Company Limited, November 5, 2018, at a contract sum of 1.2 million and being supervised by Messrs. Amalgamated Group. Work on the project stands at 70% completion. The project, Mr. Speaker, forms part of the several uncompleted Get Farm projects across the country. Mr. Speaker, the Get Farm currently is burdened because the Get Farm is providing for free senior high school. Feeding alone stands around 3 to 4 billion Ghana cedis. Some additional expenditure, I'm informed by, may dilute the Get Fund not to be able to undertake its traditional role and function and mandate of providing for infrastructure at all levels of education, particularly at the higher education level. But Mr. Speaker, in the 2026 budget, the Honorable Finance Minister announced the completion of a number of Get Fund projects. Out of 52, some 22 have been selected for completion, and I will pay particular attention to my good friend's constituency and completed project. Mr. Speaker, the other difficulty is that if you awarded a contract in 2018 at 1.2 million, you don't expect the contractor to finish it at the same rate, given that some time period have lost, costs have risen, and the value of the contract may be more expensive for the contractor. That becomes a disincentive. Mr. Speaker, government is working to convert about 30 Category C schools to B and about 10 to 20 Category B schools to C, and then expand infrastructure in the Category A schools. Mr. Speaker, I'm told that if you go to Presec, the old boys who are here, even assembly, they have to go to assembly in batches. And Fansipin was in my office this morning to announce their 155th anniversary and to invite His Excellency President Mahama to be associated with it. No assembly hall. We are building a 5,000 capacity assembly hall for a number of selected schools. The Get Fund is providing 180 million US dollars to support our secondary education learning improvement program, which will focus on the completion. Mr. Speaker, this question of placement, you heard all the conflict about Category A, Category B school. Category A school simply means schools that are oversubscribed because of their quality or standing. We can build the infrastructure and support them with quality improvement. Mr. Speaker, with some regret, I know that in the whole Northeast region, there is no single Category A school. In the whole of the Savannah region, there is no single Category A school. OT region, no Category A school. Yet, all these learners are to compete with the likes of their colleagues in Mfansipim, Adisadal, or Wegehe. We need to respond to the equity challenge and ensure that through expanded infrastructure, both dormitories and classrooms. Mr. Speaker, what happened significantly between 2018 and yesterday was that whilst the transformative initiative for free senior high school, one, we didn't define what is free. What is free? It is just about feeding. Mr. Speaker, the President has directed me that in urban areas, we should build large day schools, like the Kwabinya type of school, maybe in Kaswa or in Nima or in Ayawasu, Bubuashi area. We can do that kind of it. Mr. Speaker, if we don't deboardinize, but we also know that in some rural areas, you necessarily must allow for boarding schools. There are about 46 applications in my office from MPs seeking to convert day schools to boarding school. It comes at a cost. Mr. Speaker, the Get Fund, as I have said, hitherto was funded from Petroleum Revenue Management between 2018 and 2024. Now it's now being solely borne by the GET Fund. That does not give the GET Fund enough room to be able to do more, both for tertiary education, secondary and basic education. I thank you.
Yes, honorable member.
No supplementary. Just want to thank him for the assurance.
Very well. Honorable members, we then move to question number 220. Standing in the name of Elvis Osei Mensah Dapa, I have for Anon Southwest.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Education about the stance of the ministry on the refusal of the chairman of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, in the Afano Southwest constituency to commissioning a safe and a prepared educational facility, that's my Council Methodist KG block, as well as the suitable interventions being implemented to ensure that the school children are not further deprived.
So as we wait for him to come and speak. Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I'll be happy to go with my colleague, the Honorable Elvis Osei Mensah Dapa, at a convenient date in December to commission the facility for him. The office of minister goes beyond the watershed of partisanship. That is a state property invested with taxpayers' money. Every Ghanaian is entitled to the full benefits of the rights and benefits guaranteed under the 1992 Constitution. And therefore, it is not the case that the chairman of the NDC in Afuana South, he probably was just supervising it. Once it's completed, it becomes GES government property. Give me a date. I'm free after 4th December. I probably may be in the region between the 12th and 20th of December, bearing my role in Parliament here. I'll be happy to commission it. Mr. Speaker, last 2 weeks, I was in Bimbila to commission a similar facility for which I had the same reasons, which was funded by the GMPC Foundation for the Bimbila Senior High School. The reason the commission delayed, I had the same political undertones. No, I was on my way to Bimbila to commission it when my attention was drawn that the GMPC Foundation, which funded the project, was not invited to the project. I thought that was not good enough, and therefore I deferred it. So I'll be happy to go and commission it for you. Don't be too worried and concerned about any chairman standing your way. Thank you.
Yes.
Speaker, let me commend the Minister of Education for his assurance to the Honourable Member. The Honourable Member has personally complained to me, and I had cautioned that he should reach out to you. You are the type of person who will not introduce partisanship as far as our educational facility building is concerned. So I want to urge the Minister to honor his words and ensure that, and I know you are a man of honor, this matter is resolved ASAP, for it not to degenerate into unnecessary partisan colors. So I want to assure the Minister that we on this side of the House will cooperate with you to ensure you do what you have just put on record. But the Honourable Member is a very friendly, I don't know if he has a follow-up, but he is a very friendly person who is available to travel with you to the constituency to get these matters resolved ASAP. I thank you, Speaker.
Honourable Member, do you have a follow-up question?
Mr. Speaker, I just want to thank the Honourable Minister for his assurance. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister responsible for education. On behalf of the House, I thank you very much for attending upon the House to respond to the questions slated for you. Thank you. You are hereby discharged. Yes, honorable members, by consensus, for now, this brings us to the end of question time. Then we'll move straight to item number 8. Honorable members, we shall now conclude the commentary on the statement made by the Honorable Minister for Finance on the budget statement and the economic policy of government of the Republic of Ghana for the year ending 31st December 2026. Before calling on the minority leader, indulge me to announce the presence of our revered guests. We have students from the Learning Center, led by Emmanuel Doona Okla, a teacher. They are from Tema Central, they numbered 43. We have Tain Yuhas, led by Tarsisius Nantale, president, and they are from, is it Huawei? They numbered 18. The minister, the member of parliament is there ably to attend to you. Honourable members, I have the pleasure to introduce to you Honourable Dr. Sherif El Gabali, a member of parliament and the chairman of the African Cooperation Committee of the Egyptian House of Representatives, who is on a trade mission to Ghana. He is accompanied by His Excellency Wael Fati, Egyptian ambassador to Ghana. Ms. Hania El Kadi, Deputy Ambassador. Ms. Nesrin Wihesh, Head of Trade. Honourable members, on your behalf, I wish him a pleasant stay in the country and a fruitful mission. You are once again very welcome. Thank you for coming. Honourable members, on this note, I will give the floor to Honourable Minority Leader Osahin Alexander Kwamina Apanyo Maki. You have the floor. You are speaking for 1 hour.
Speaker, let me thank you for the opportunity to make comments for and on behalf of the minority caucus as we draw the curtains down on this important matter. Mr. Speaker, permit me to precede my submissions with a quote from the book of Daniel, chapter 6, verses 12 to 28. Mr. Speaker, it provides that some men rushed into the upper chamber of Daniel's home and found him praying and pleading before his God. Then they went to remind the king about the prohibition. Did you not decree, O king, that no one is to address a petition to God or man for 30 days, except to you, O king? otherwise he shall be cast into a den of lions. The king answered, the decree is absolute, irrevocable under the Mede and Persian law. To this they replied, Daniel, the Jewish exile, has paid no attention to you, O king, or to the decree you issued. 3 times a day he offers his prayer. The king was deeply grieved at this news. He made up his mind to save Daniel. He worked till sunset to rescue him. But these men insisted. They said, keep in mind, O king, that under the Mede or Persian law, every royal prohibition or decree is irrevocable. So the king ordered Daniel to be brought and cast into the lion's den. To Daniel he said, may your God, whom you serve so constantly, save you. To forestall any tampering, the king sealed with his own drink and the rings of the lords the stone that had been brought to block the opening of the den. Then the king returned to his palace for the night. He refused to eat, and he dismissed the entertainers. Since sleep was impossible for him, the king rose very early the next morning and hastened to the lion's den. As he drew near, he cried out to Daniel sorrowfully, O Daniel, servant of the living God, has the God whom you serve so constantly been able to save you from the lions? Daniel answered the king, O king, live forever. My God has sent his angel and closed the lion's mouth. So they have not hurt me, for I have been found innocent before him. Neither to you have I done any harm, O king. This gave the king great joy. At his order, Daniel was removed from the den unhurt because he trusted in his God. The king then ordered the men who accused Daniel, along with their children and their wives, to be cast into the lion's den. Then King Darius wrote to the nations and the peoples of every language, wherever they dwell on earth, all peace to you. I decree throughout my royal domain, the God of Daniel is to be reverenced and feared, for he is a living God, enduring forever. His kingdom shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall be without end. He is a deliverer and a savior, working signs and wonders in the heaven and on earth. And he delivered Daniel from the lion's power. Mr. Speaker, I proceed further with a quote from the 26th President of the United States of America, Theodore Roosevelt, on the 23rd of April, 1910. He addressed citizens of Paris on a speech titled Citizenship in a Republic at Sorbonne in Paris. Mr. Speaker, this was during his post-presidential tour of Europe. In veritable words, he reminded the world of one enduring truth. Quote, it is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievements, and who at the worst, if he fails, at the least fails while doing greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. To this end, Mr. Speaker, I want to urge my colleagues in the minority that although we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we must fear no evil. Let's remain strong. Refuse to be intimidated. Refuse the subtle culture of silence. Let's soldier on. Victory awaits us. Mr. Speaker, the old wise saying reminds us that rising to eminence by merit, you live respected and die regretted. On this note, and with a heavy heart but clear duty, I come before you, Mr. Speaker, having defended budget in good times and reforms in difficult ones. I have stood on both sides of this aisle. I have seen government rise and fall and witnessed both the best of our democracy and sometimes its worst. But Mr. Speaker, rarely have I encountered a budget statement so detached from reality, so hollow in its promises, and so dangerous in its implications as the 2026 budget now before us. This is not a document of hope. It is not a blueprint for transformation. It is not even an honest accounting of our nation's condition. Mr. Speaker, this budget is built on propaganda, sustained by abandonment, and destined to deepen the suffering of ordinary Ghanaians. Mr. Speaker, simply put, this is not a budget. It is a national retreat disguised as a national plan. But Mr. Speaker, this government must keep in mind that it keeps repeating that it inherited a collapsed, comatose, lifeless economy in January 2025. But the World Bank, not the minority, not the MPP, but the World Bank, in its official Ghana review overview updated on October 6, 2025, records the truth. Quote, stabilization has improved conditions with 2024 growth at 5.7%. Mr. Speaker, this must sink. 5.7% real GDP growth in 2024 before this government touched the wheel. Now compare that with their own projections. In their 2025 budget, they projected growth at 3.3%, a collapse of 2.4 percentage points. Even the World Bank's generous assessment reaches only 4.3% for 2025. And for 2026, this budget promises 4.8%. The arithmetic is brutal. The 2024 under Nanado's MPP, 5.7 growth, this has been certified by the World Bank. 2025 under NDC, 3.3% to 4.3% growth, according to their own figures. Then the 2026 under the same NDC, they project 4.8%. If 5.7% growth is comatose, what name should we give to 3.3%? Paralyzed, dead, or arrival? By their own numbers, the economy is now performing worse than the so-called collapse they claim they inherited. The truth is merciless. MPP handed over a stabilized, recovering economy growing at 5.7%. The NDC slowed it at 3 to 4%. Mr. Speaker, when you slow down faster than the dead economy you inherited, you cannot claim to have inherited ruins. This grand deception is the foundation of everything that follows. Every abandoned program, every misprioritized allocation, and every constitutional violation. Once this lie is exposed, everything else begins to crumble. Is the reason why I reminded my colleagues that if you rise to eminence by merit, you live respected. Now your lies, your propaganda, stand exposed after you lie to the people. Mr. Speaker, let me turn to the human consequences of this deception. 6 Ghanaian women died in a stampede at Elwak Stadium. They were not there because they all dreamed of becoming soldiers. They were there because in an economy where jobs have vanished and opportunity has been strangled, any recruitment exercise looks a lifeboat. Those young women died because desperation met poor preparation in a context of mass joblessness. Mr. Speaker, their deaths are not random. They are a direct consequence of policy abandonment. They are human costs of government that has slowed economic growth and quietly killed the very programs that once absorbed labor and gave young people hope. If planting for food and jobs was still robust, if 1D1F was still expanding, if Agenda 111 was employing workers across the country, the probability of thousands of desperate young women piling up at the gate would have been far lower. Before we discuss billions and percentages, let us remember, their death must not be in vain. Their budget must be judged by whether it prevented another Elwak or guarantees more. On that test, Mr. Speaker, this budget fails catastrophically. Mr. Speaker, Elwak was not an isolated incident. It was a direct consequence of economic policy that has methodically dismantled every viable pathway to employment. Consider the evidence. 32% of youth aged 15 to 24% are unemployed. These statistics reflect a challenge we inherited when we assumed office in 2017. Yet we actively address these through structured programs. Planting for food and jobs, 1D1F, Agenda 111, and the Youth Start entrepreneurial funding and training. Whilst imperfect, these programs constituted a functioning employment architecture that delivered 5.7 economic growth. This government's response, systematic demolition. They eliminated the PFJ without replacement, 1D1F cancelled, they abandoned Agenda 111, and what do we see? Stagnation. Having dismantled the working solution, they now offer an uncosted fantasy of 800,000 new jobs and a betrayed manifesto promise. Where is the 1 million coders that has been reduced to 100 million without targets, alongside declining growth to 3.3%? Let me be blunt. Their priorities are in the least a scandal. They can find billions for new presidential jets, yet find a fraction of that for their jobs for the youth. What matters more, the comfort of a new presidential jet or the survival of millions on the ground? Mr. Speaker, this is not just hypocrisy. It is a declaration of war on the aspiration of our children. The young women at Elwak did not just die. They were sacrificed on the altar of political vanity and breathtaking incompetence. We will not stand for it. Ghana's youth deserve better than ghost programs and empty promises. They deserve the ladder of opportunity this government so cruelly destroyed. Mr. Speaker, let me now turn to the budget itself. This budget, Mr. Speaker, this budget is a cut and paste budget. When we say the successes of Nanado government is as a result of solid foundation laid by his administration, the NDC start to fight. But look at pages 74, 75 to 76, paragraphs 519 to 533. It is a complete cut and paste budget. They claim we have a ministry for works and housing with all the 60 ministers, with all the appointees in cabinet,
they could not open their eyes to see that they were selling something to Parliament that they themselves have not defined as part of the ministries. Mr. Speaker, how can you, at paragraph 519, claim that there's a Ministry of Railway Development? How can you, at paragraph 528, say that Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources, and then at paragraph 523, again say Ministry of Works and Housing? Where was the Deputy Minister who could have paid attention to these details and dotted the I's? Where were the ministers? And this document has been brought to Parliament. In the list, this document might be withdrawn and a new budget brought before Parliament. Parliament will not accept this cut and paste budget, and all the things you have in there are things that you pulled from the previous budget and pasted them. Where is the Ministry for Railway and Development? Mr. Speaker, our friends have been exposed. A lazy attitude in preparation of a national document for Parliament. How could it have been a mistake? This is not a mistake. This is incompetence. This is clear that you did not prepare the budget with due diligence. Else you won't come and tell us Ministry for Works and Housing, Ministry for Railway Development, and write anything because you think you have the numbers to say here. We, the minority, the mighty minority, will scrutinize. And you can choose to use the courts and other means together with your numbers to get all of us out of this chamber. We will still protest and scrutinize you outside of this chamber. Mr. Speaker, at paragraph 33, page 5 of the budget, this is what they say. That, Mr. Speaker, the year 2025 has unfolded against a backdrop of deepening global uncertainty, heightened trade disputes, persistent geopolitical tensions, and uneven monetary tightening across major economies have damaged global confidence and investment flows. Mr. Speaker, these are the words of the Finance Minister. Since when, Mr. Speaker, did global economic uncertainties affect the economy of Ghana? When you were in opposition, you failed to accept that global economic challenges had effects on Ghana. Today, in presenting your national budget, you are blaming global uncertainties has haven't affected you. Mr. Speaker, our friends have been exposed. Their hypocrisy now known to the people of Ghana, that this is not a group of principled political leaders, but a group of convenience political leaders. Each day in government, they change their positions. They change authority as and when it pleases them. Mr. Speaker, we will hold them to account. We will expose them. We will scrutinize every move of them. Even if they use subtle ways to reduce our numbers, even if we are left with one in this chamber, we will put the heat at their feet and make life uncomfortable for them. Mr. Speaker, today, if you read paragraph 902 all the way to 905, this government claims that GMPC will be drilling oil in 2026. Mr. Speaker, a critical question must be asked. Whether or not GMPC can undertake major exploration, especially drilling in the Volta Basin, with such drastically reduced funding? And then, Mr. Speaker, they claim that we as a country, we are going to generate our own power. This power that we are going to generate, have you first dealt with the inefficiencies in the system? Because, Mr. Speaker, currently there is excess capacity. The take or pay agreement we have, that is costing so much money. You haven't dealt with it, and you say you are going to set up a new system, a new thermal plant, using future savings to do that. Is it another scandal in waiting? Mr. Speaker, if the majority and its government do not avail themselves for the minority, as few as we are, with our might and intellect to scrutinize you, you may go down in history as the most corrupt government in the history of Ghana. Avail yourselves and let us scrutinize you. Mr. Speaker, look at ECOWAS, the ECOWAS sub-regional growth. Mr. Speaker, table 4, page 8 of the budget. Clearly, table 4 explains why the mighty minority says that this budget is growthless, jobless, and hopeless. Mr. Speaker, perhaps
Honorable Minority Leader, please proceed. The respective backs should take note, because I can hear noise from both sides. So we should all remain silent and listen to the debate. Please continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Ghanaian story, when compared to our peers in ECOWAS, is nothing good to write home about. From their own table 4 at page 8, it is clear all other countries in the sub-region did so well in terms of their growth. Mr. Speaker, if you walk through this list one by one, their incompetence is exposed. We are asking them, where are the jobs? Ejumanu wahi. Where is the 24-hour economy? It is clear that 24-hour economy no atonsio. Mr. Speaker, let's go to the industrial sector. Reference Appendix 1C, page 15. The NPP administration left a burgeoning industry sector that grew at 7.1%. Mr. Speaker, growth in that sector has declined to a paltry 3.6% in 2025. This decline is due to the lack of activity in the construction subsector. Numbers don't lie. Whereas construction subsector grew at 9.6% in 2024, growth in the sector has declined to 2.9% in 2025. Now you see why we have been clamoring for you to pay contractors. Even your own ministers, 2025, did not have their releases. Non-payment of arrears owed contractors means they have to move away from sites. Most road projects initiated have been abandoned. Agenda 111 have been abandoned. Contract construction is the bedrock of the industrial sector. A lot of Ghanaians get their daily bread when construction booms. You cannot profess a certain big push agenda and not pay hard-working contractors. You cannot profess big push agenda whilst projects started by the previous government is stalled. Mr. Speaker, the NDC administration must learn to pay contractors, continue road projects started by the MPP administration, continue the Agenda 111, continue the numerous projects in the educational sector, complete the bypass on the Accra-Kumasi Road, complete the Kaswa-Winneba Road, finish the Adenta-Dodua Road, finish the Tamapampram stretch, complete the Swami interchange, and finish the PTC interchange. Mr. Speaker, the NPP administration under Nana Akufo-Addo has a record of over 13,000 kilometers of road. Mr. Speaker, the 13,000 kilometers road leave our leader alone.
Please, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, the 13,000 kilometer plus road construction under the Nanadu government, Mr. Speaker, can never be matched by this administration. Mr. Speaker, now let's look at revenue, fiscal performance. May I refer them to Appendix 2A at page 154 of the budget. Mr. Speaker, in presenting the budgets in March 2025, the minister projected total revenues and grants of 224.93 billion, representing 16.1% of GDP. Mr. Speaker, the minority told the NDC to stop the voodoo forecasting because it was unachievable and that the figures were cooked just to make the budget look good. Mr. Speaker, unperturbed in the mid-year budget review, they presented a further revised revenue and grants upwards to 229.9 billion, representing 16.4% of GDP. Again, we warn them to desist from deceiving the Ghanaian public and potential investors. What do we see now? The Minister of Finance and his government have finally revised the end-year projected revenue and grant to 226.4 billion, a whooping 3.5 billion difference. Is this competence? Incompetence. Mr. Speaker, the bizarre aspect of all of this is that they disregarded the full facts and figures. They programmed to rake in 162.6 billion in the first 9 months of the year. And this programming was done significantly in July. Mr. Speaker, in the first 9 months, you were able to only get 11.1%. What are you hiding from the Ghanaian people? How can you raise 72 billion in 3 months when you only had 154 billion in 9 months? You can project big revenue, but actual performance would expose you. I repeat, you can project big revenue, but actual performance will expose you. Mr. Speaker, a word to the wise is enough. Now, Mr. Speaker, let us look at expenditure. Expenditure as the presidency has ballooned. Expenditure at the presidency has ballooned. It is in excess of 1.5 billion cedis. The deputy minister can shake his head, but I wish he could state this for the record. Perhaps he doesn't know what is contained in the budget. Perhaps he doesn't know what is contained in the budget. We, the mighty minority, have read the budget in full, and we know the details. Mr. Speaker, they fail to provide for the private sector. They fail to create opportunities, yet at the presidency alone, they are spending in excess of 1.5 billion cedis. Mr. Speaker, let me turn to the women banking sector. Mr. Speaker, I want to remind the NDC that they cannot deceive the Ghanaian people. I refer them to Appendix 4A of page 174 of the budget. Mr. Speaker, they claim that they are providing 401 million to start the women banking. Mr. Speaker, what they try to hide are the things I'm going to tell the Ghanaian people. At 9:30, there's supposed to be a minimum capital, which capital must be unimpaired. Now, the minimum capital requirement for opening a bank, establishing a bank, is 400 million. That 400 million, you can't touch it. So if you say you are providing 400 million to establish the women banking, what money are you going to use to provide the loans? Mr. Speaker, in the 2025 budget, you did nothing about the women banking. Now you are providing for 400 million to establish a bank. What are you going to give out as loans? Again, you have deceived the women of this country. 2025 provided nothing, then in 2026 too, nothing. Mr. Speaker, the 24-hour economy has now become a chorus. If you go through the budget, paragraph 431, paragraph 458, paragraph 479, Mr. Speaker, there's one chorus. They even describe it as 24 economy plus and 24-hour economy. Which is which? Every paragraph, you precede it with 24-hour economy. So what is the meaning of 24-hour economy? The one job, three shifts in way. Okay, nichuma baba. Ingwe nichuma yo. Abibo ake ingwe nichuma yo. Mr. Speaker, the people of Ghana are asking the NDC 2025, 2026, even 2025, we can forgive you because you are just come. But what about 2026? What are the variables? What are the policy measures you've introduced to inspire growth, to create employment? Mr. Speaker, at ECG, even where you had an opportunity to use electricity tariffs as an incentive to develop this 24-hour economy, you failed. This year alone, you have increased tariffs by 18%. 18% across board. How do you, without introducing reforms, burden the ordinary Ghanaian to pay more taxes, to pay more tariffs? Added to that was your 1 Ghana cedi per petrol diesel bought at the pump. What have you done? You claim that you are taking away e-levy, yet in the dead of night, you introduce the Doomsday levy, you introduce 18% electricity tariffs, and in the same vein, you claim that you are going to provide an incentive for economic growth and for businesses to work all night. What a hypocrisy. What a double standard. What an unprincipled government. Mr. Speaker, this government claims that it is going to develop Ghana. I want to ask a simple question. What have you provided for? Agriculture. Go through the budget on agriculture. You abandon the planting for food and jobs. You are rather giving more money to the gold board and abandoning our farmers. Akufo-Addo constructed no less than 12 landing beach sites at our coast. Go to the fisheries subsector. What have you provided for them? Zero. Nothing. Yet you say we should praise you. All the monies you have provided for giving to Galamsey activities through Gold Board, are you making a distinction between regularly mined gold and illicit gold. All we know is that Bank of Ghana is releasing dollars for gold board to buy gold. There is no transparent accounting system. But we tell you, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, all the transactions and the gold board, where the exchange rate losses, the differentials, went to, you would account for them. Mr. Speaker, let me proceed to deal with another issue, public debts. Mr. Speaker, recently the Vice President of our Republic raised this issue of public debts. Mr. Speaker, specifically, paragraphs 199 to 201 at page 32. This is what the NDC, Mr. Speaker, this is what they say. They claim that the public debt decline, the public debt to GDP declined from 68.9% as at end of September 2024 to a 45% a year later due to the debt exchange program. You go to the Ghanaian people and tell them that the debt exchange program was bad. But today you are taking credit for the debt exchange program. You are telling the people of Ghana now, after you had gotten power, the DDEP significantly lowered the debt. The agreement reached last year with commercial creditors, particularly Euro bond holders, helped a lot in debt reduction. The last leg with official bilateral creditors having become effective is the final bit. This is not prudent debt management, according to you. You are actually now adding to the debt stock. So when you meet IMF and the World Bank, you praise the Akufo-Addo administration for the steps taken in stabilizing the economy. Yet, when you meet the full soldiers, you lie to them. You will be exposed. Your hypocrisy is now known to all. You are now known as a government of convenience. Your principle is lost on you. Nobody takes you serious. Mr. Speaker, let me refer to paragraph 364 at page 54 of the budget. This is what the NDC government says about the Electoral Commission. Quote, Mr. Speaker, in 2025, the Electoral Commission delivered on its constitutional mandate with professionalism and transparency. Following the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections, the Commission conducted election for the confirmation of 261 metropolitan, municipal, district chief executives. It also organized the rerun of Ablekuma North parliamentary elections, conducted Akwatia by-elections, and supervised the Council of State elections for 16 regional representatives. Mr. Speaker, today, this same NDC is now crucifying the Electoral Commission through a questionable petition. Mr. Speaker, again, the governance of convenience has been exposed. Mr. Speaker, we thought that after coming to power and claiming that everything was in shambles, they will come around with a new idea. Mr. Speaker, Omubaye, Omasemni say, Ghana, Bibia and Koso, Omude Jumeba, and Kolano, Yembano, Anajo, Ombenye Jumaye, wo Dokra Obetumi Adwa Anojo. Omo say, electricity Bobeko form. Omo say, Ejuma Ebeba, and then Ankronkre Juma na MPP abreso. Omo de ba ya na yesema ye nje omo tax no Say Jumani ne collapse. NDC aban endro nkoa e wo mo budget ni mu. Mr. Speaker, omo de VAT enkane no na omo a omo ye adwuma ewo makola ewo magazine omo na omo wo flat system 3% and there omo twani nyina mu 3% no nanka enkane no small scale businesses no anu nso omo ye no omo atwamu ese omo ye reform. Mr. Speaker,
Honorable Minority Leader, I intend not to interrupt you.
Mr.
But
Speaker,
you know,
I will translate.
by the rules.
Stop this.
By the rules. Please continue.
Speaker, Ghana etie. Enti abeka no kra no. Mr. Speaker, Mrs. Subio. And omo baye electricity bua kosro. Who got petrol 1 liter bi omo je 1 Ghana cedi. With the Okada, Ekoto petrol. With the motorbike, Ekoto petrol. Omojo 1 Ghana cedi. And so omo see omo de adwuma eba. Mr. Speaker. Ba omo ba ye. Yenya ye ni tua. Eye sikedi nkwa. So far, Mr. Speaker, omo ankasa ka say tax waiver and yet and say Mr. Speaker sika ankomo betumi e dia ye development omo de $10 million and komo de achatata one company $10 million. Mr. Speaker, me was at $10 million way nke betumi de aye mpuntu djuma awe enkra bebre. Mr. Speaker, instead of granting tax waiver to one company of $10.4 million, that money could have been used to construct more roads, to construct more schools. But Mr. Speaker, they chose convenience. Mr. Speaker, the year of work said almost koto aeroplane kasiye ediamo mampani so fentu kwan na wo hwe aeroplane no buo eko billions. Mr. Speaker, and so and kolani here juma aye and almost koto aeroplane ama omampani so fentu kwan and so enka no almost say woto plane more man penya and ya de papa into one case of principles no way. Mr. Speaker, the NDC, when agriculture stops absorbing labor, when factories stop hiring, when construction sites shut down, young people go somewhere. Too many, they are going into illegal mining. Our rivers are turning brown. Our forests disappearing. Our cocoa farms are being destroyed. Communities are being poisoned. Yet in this budget, no bold, well-funded alternative livelihood program is being initiated. Mr. Speaker, let me go to the gold board. This government has surrendered to the Galamsey activities. And let me be very clear. Let me even make it graver. This government has become its enabler. In this budget, government announces a gold board purchase, announces a gold board to purchase gold from small-scale miners. But Mr. Speaker, recently, Professor Adai warned us that the gold board will become a state laundering mechanism for Galamsey gold. They are not fighting illegal mining. The NDC government, through gold board, is rather financing it. This is giving it state endorsement. So all that they do, claiming that NIMO is out there to enforce, is falsehood. Today, members of NIMO are getting hurt, shot at, dying needlessly in a fight their own government has abandoned. But let us remember, this is a country that lost 8 innocent souls, including top 2 ministers, on their way to a program fighting illegal mining. 8 lives, 2 ministers, all in service of the fight against Galamsey. And yet their own government is today demonstrating neither the seriousness nor the commitment necessary to defeat illegal mining. Instead, it has set up a gold board to buy gold it cannot trace, from miners it cannot verify, in a system designed for complicity rather than enforcement. This is horrifying. This is a betrayal of those 8 souls. It is a betrayal of every soldier risking their life. It is a betrayal of every Ghanaian who wants cleaner water and future for their children. If this government cannot trace the gold, it must not buy the gold. Mr. Speaker, let me now turn to their infamous sanitary pad scandal. Numbers don't lie. In July 2025, the Finance Ministry said the price of sanitary pads had been reduced from 25 cedis to 15 cedis. At that price, the 6.6 million they projected was supposed to cost 99 million. Yet in 2026 budget statement, the Education Ministry is stated to have spent 45 cedis per pad, totaling 292 million cedis. So how come the 15 cedis per pad now rose to 45 cedis per pad? Mr. Speaker, the gap between 292 million and 99 million is 193 million cedis. Mr. Speaker, this raises serious questions. This is a huge scandal with a large amount of 193 million ending up where? Mr. Speaker, the NDC government must come clean and explain this to the people of Ghana. We cannot sweep this under the carpet. We cannot be quiet. We will not be mute. You cannot shut us. You cannot use your numbers. And perhaps, if not satisfied, add a presiding officer to it to crush the minority. We will be loud, we will be clear, we will be bold and confront the misgovernance. Mr. Speaker, this 2026 budget must be rejected, not out of spite, but out of duty. Not to score points, but to defend the future. Not to win an argument, but to prevent another LWAC. Not in defiance of the Constitution, but to defend it. Mr. Speaker, our friends appear clueless. Our friends appear not to understand the very mandate that has been given them by the people of Ghana. Every single thing they say, they do the opposite. Every single promise they make, they resolve. a question must be asked. Can they point to a single social intervention program since they assumed office in 2025 January? Can the NDC point to a single social intervention program that they have initiated since January 2025? Mr. Speaker, for the avoidance of doubt, when Ghanaian people mention free SHS, they know who Akufo-Addo. When the Ghanaian people mention health insurance, they know Kufuor. We can boast of the free maternal care.
Honorable Minority Leader, you have the floor. Honorable Member, why? Honorable Member, why? Honorable Member, I mean you. I mean you. Why? Yes, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, if the Ghanaian people mention school feeding, they know of MPP. If the Ghanaian people mention free maternal care, they know of MPP. If the Ghanaian people mention health insurance policy, they know MPP. Mr. Speaker, public transport, investment in public transport, they even called it Kufuor bus. They know MPP. Mr. Speaker, when the Ghanaian people hear of the almighty free SHS, they know of MPP. Mr. Speaker, but when the Ghanaian people mention a government that abandoned job creation and decided to buy an aeroplane for the president to fly in, they know of NDC. When the Ghanaian people mention leadership of deceit, hypocrisy, propaganda, they mention NDC. Mr. Speaker, when the people of Ghana mention of deceit in the implementation of one job, three shifts, they mention NDC. Mr. Speaker, when they mention the double standard government that said it frowns against tax waiver, yet comes into this chamber claiming that it is rather streamlining a contract signed by the previous government and grants a whooping $10.4 million to a single entity, they mention NDC. Mr. Speaker, I want to challenge the NDC. If indeed the Tata contract was that bad, go and cancel it. Go and cancel it. We don't want you to streamline it. Don't come and protect anybody. Go and cancel it. Come back to Parliament for the review of the resolution and cancel the contract. Cancel it. $10.4 million to one company. Mr. Speaker, our friends in the NDC, it appears that they got the power, they are dazed, they have lost control in just 12 months. Today, there are ministers who appeared in this chamber. Anytime we ask them, Have you received your releases? They are unable to answer. I want each of the ministers to dare the minority and be bold and state for Hansard whether indeed they received their releases. They received nothing. The government could not even prioritize its own programs. The government could not even implement its own programs. Ministers were left idle. Ministers were abandoned. Ministers became redundant. For those who were privileged to be members of this house, they found refuge in this house. This was their hiding place. They made themselves busy by always coming to this chamber instead of being at their offices to execute government business. Because Sikanu Wahi, Yebisa, almost say Atu forcing. Yebisa, Atu forcing. Atu is indeed forcing. Atu is indeed forcing. Atu, you are forcing. You are forcing. You are forcing. You are forcing the youth out of jobs. You are forcing to get 18% electricity tariffs. You are forcing to ensure that you create a new VAT basket to compel many of our small-scale businesses to get into this new threshold. And Mr. Speaker, you know what you're going to do? Atu, you are forcing many people out of jobs. Hey, if you meet this minister, I say Atu is forcing. No, it's not me. Oh, it's Atu. It's Atu. Hey, Atu. Mr. Speaker, to conclude, even Parliament is given a paltry sum. Parliament has not been given sufficient allocation for its activities. Is it the government that cares? Must Parliament beg the government for its releases? Must government be begged for money to undertake its activities? Mr. Speaker, today, after succeeding in what I will call, the minority will call, judicial capture, they are on their way to ensuring Electoral Commission capture. But we tell you one thing, no matter what you do, no matter the intimidation, we, the mighty minority, we know that the better days of our country are ahead of us. We would hold your feet to the fire, would expose your incompetence, all your promises you made that you are unable to fulfill. We will not allow you to use propaganda to distract anybody. We will stay on course and hold you account to the very things you promised. Mr. Speaker, the finance minister was not here, but at the risk of being repetitive, Ghana Railway Development Authority, is there any railway ministry? Is there a Works and Housing Ministry? Go and check page 74, page 75 to page 76. Finance Minister, perhaps we may forgive you because you have an added responsibility at the Defense Ministry. Because they want you to buy the aircraft before you leave there. They want you to buy the presidential aircraft. Otherwise, why have they not appointed a new Defense Minister? They want you to finish that transaction. But your Deputy Minister and your technocrats, the various ministers, including the Roads and Highways Minister, where were they? Did this budget go to cabinet? Did they read over this budget? Finance Minister, this has never happened in the history of this country. You bring a budget of mistakes. You don't read over your budget. So, Mr. Speaker, by extension, every figure in this budget is compromised. We must now watch your figures again. That is how come you claim that within 3 months you are going to achieve 74 billion in revenue, when over 9 months you could achieve nothing much. Mr. Speaker, I shall conclude by urging the finance minister to take a cue from all the submissions from this side of the house, having exposed all the inaccuracies in this budget, all the propaganda in this budget, including all the submissions I have made at this dispatch box, specifically on pages 74, 75, and 76. To, without delay, and let me use a legal terminology, withdraw this budget statement forthwith and go back and do the right thing. Mr. Speaker, I rest my case.
Honourable members, this is a house guided by rules. I will therefore refer to Standing Order 63, which has the marginal notes, language of proceedings. And I will want to read 63.1. The proceedings of Parliament shall ordinarily be conducted in English, except that a member may exercise the option to address the House in a local language if facilities exist in the House for the interpretation by the member or for contemporaneous interpretation. Honourable members, in clear violation, English and Ga has been spoken by the minority leader, which substantially has not been translated into English. Accordingly, I will order and direct that all the three spoken words, all the Gans, which has not been translated into English, be expunged from the record as if it does not exist. Honourable members, I will proceed to give the floor to the Majority Leader, Mahama Ayariga. You have 1 hour. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, and thank you, colleagues. Let me thank all colleagues on this side of the House and across the aisle for their very revealing and informing comments on the budget. Once again, some of our first-timers have risen to the occasion and made us very proud in this chamber by making very impressive comments on the budget. Your boldness and effective contribution have not gone unnoticed. A lot has been said in favor of the budget, and a lot has been said against the budget. I'll reaffirm some of the good things, and I'll respond to some of the criticisms. This budget and the policies underpinning it is to reset Ghana for growth, jobs, and transformation. Mr. Speaker, this is a budget that will generate growth. This is a budget that reflects prudent management of the resources of this economy to achieve growth objectives. In 1 year, and this budget reflects it, we have shifted gears from a criminal handling of the economy to prudence. Indeed, the president had cause to describe the situation that we met in this country as a crime scene. Mr. Speaker, let me start with the energy sector. What is the record of the NPP in the energy sector? Mr. Speaker, they mismanaged the Millennium Challenge account Energy Compact 2. And in the process, they cost this country, and we lost 190 million United States dollars. Mr. Speaker, by giving the distribution sector to a certain PDS, which went and forged records in providing a payment guarantee. This is the record of the NPP in the management of the energy sector. Mr. Speaker, you want what is in the budget? You want what is in the budget? The situation at ECG is in the budget. Mr. Speaker, the recent container hold-up investigations report of the ECG reveals the mess at the ECG. Due to your negligence, demurrage of over 909 million Ghana cedis was incurred at the port. Mr. Speaker, corruption was at its height. Clearing contracts to the tune of 159 million was awarded. Mr. Speaker, a 127.6 million contract was awarded to a company which did not have customs house agent registration. Mr. Speaker, there was massive deviations in budget for procurement vis-a-vis actual procurements. 2024 planned procurement, and my friend opposite in 2024 at some point was chairman of ECG. 2024 planned procurement was 1.3 billion, but actual procurement was 6.8 billion. A deviation of negative 487%. And all these contracts were sole sourced, single source procurements. Mr. Speaker, ECG owed power producers over 60 billion Ghana cedis. As of December 2024, ECG owed power producers over 60 billion Ghana cedis. The energy sector as a whole owed over 1.46 billion United States dollars. That is over 20.8 billion Ghana cedis. You stand here and you ask us When is 24-hour economy starting? 24-hour economy will start when we have cleared the mess at ECG and we have created a 24-hour energy system. Mr. Speaker, what is the NDC management of the energy sector? What does the budget say? Mr. Speaker, the budget says that the energy sector has been better managed. We suspended all power purchase agreements. All power purchase agreements were suspended. We migrated all non-strategic state-owned facilities to prepaid metering systems. We are reintroducing private sector participation in power distribution without a PDS scandal. A second gas processing plant is being developed to save Ghana an annual expenditure of $350 million on liquid fuels to power generators. We are managing the energy sector more efficiently. With this project, Mr. Speaker, the second gas processing plant will save Ghana $481 million in forex every year. And Mr. Speaker, for those who are asking where are the jobs, when we construct the second gas processing plant, we will create 1,500 new direct and indirect jobs for the youth. Mr. Speaker, we renegotiated the IPP payments. Mr. Speaker, we have renegotiated the IPP payments from 1.4 billion. We have renegotiated and we are paying 1.1 billion. We have saved Ghana $250 million United States dollars in the renegotiation exercise. And even the 1.1 billion, we are spreading it over 4 years. And as we speak, this budget reports that we are current on our payments to the IPPs. Last week when I was flying into Accra from Kumasi, at night, it was a sight to behold. Everywhere was lighted. It was not like in the MPP era. I challenge you, when you go to Kumasi, come back in the night, fly at night, and as you descend into Accra, you will see the beauty of Accra under the NDC. Mr. Speaker, we are fully current, and this budget reports that $300 million have been paid to IPPs, and that's why energy is now reliably supplied. And we program to pay $345 million in 2026. Mr. Speaker, this budget reports that ECG is better managed now. And let me at this juncture single out for mention the excellent handling of ECG by its acting MD, Engineer Julius Pekwena. That proud product of Keta Secondary School and St. Augustine's College has proven that Ghanaians have what it takes to turn things around, and we will turn things around. In 2025, unlike the mess he inherited, he achieved 115% reduction in administrative expenses from 930 million Ghana cedis in 2024 half year to 2025 half year. Half of it was achieved. 115% reduction was achieved. 115% reduction in administrative expenses. The Haptel infamous contract was renegotiated from 3% to 1.65%. And in the process, he saved Ghana 13.2 million Ghana cedis monthly, every month. The 13.2 million every month can construct many schools in your constituencies, many hospitals in your constituencies. It can add to the construction of Agenda 111 hospitals. And he has saved that. Mr. Speaker, he has terminated 202 underperforming contracts, saving Ghana 227 million United States dollars. And to cap it, he delivered a record-breaking revenue collection of 1.7 billion Ghana cedis in June 2025. Never happened. Why am I saying so? I'm saying so to say that this budget reflects a turnaround. Even institutions like ECG, which were totally mismanaged, which were corruptly mismanaged, which was being run bankrupt, even ECG has been managed so well that there is a turnaround. Mr. Speaker, all the agencies have similar impressive records. All the agencies, all the state-owned companies have similar impressive records. I just singled out ECG as an example. But all of them, the port authorities, every one of them, they are all performing very well. And if you go out and check, you will confirm what I have said. Mr. Speaker, let's go to the mining sector. Let's go to the mining sector. Gold exports increased by 71.4%. We moved it, earnings from gold, from 13.3 billion US dollars, when last year MPP got only 7.7 billion US dollars. So from 7.7 billion to 13.3 billion. Mr. Speaker, that is because the Honorable Afenyo Makin, very, very smart forced and introduced the policy of Gold Board. Gold Board, Chairman 1. So, Afenyo Makin, Atu Forsen. Mr. Speaker, the introduction of Gold Board completely transformed the sector, and we are seeing the impressive results. Mr. Speaker, the debate about anti-Galamsey fight, and I've heard members on this side indicate that because we allocated only 150 million Ghana cedis, then we are not committed to the debate against the fight against Galamsey. Mr. Speaker, I am surprised. Who are we using to fight Galamsey? We are using soldiers. We are using police. We are using security agencies. Is their budget part of this 150 million Ghana cedis? No. They have their separate budgetary allocation. And that budgetary allocation will go to fight Galamsey. And if they need additional resources, then we will add the 150 million Ghana cedis to them. Mr. Speaker, and let me add that if we want to be very successful in fighting Galamsey, we must support the retooling of our security agencies. And so the budget to buy new helicopters, the budget to buy military equipment for the armed forces, all that will go towards making Ghana very capable of fighting Galamsey successfully. Mr. Speaker, I have heard colleagues question the amounts allocated for retooling the security agencies. If you see the number of young people who throng the various stadia looking to have an opportunity to serve in those agencies and the services, you will see the need for us to invest in those services. Because our youth want to join the army, they want to join the Air Force, they want to join the Navy. And if we don't retool them, if we don't invest in them, when they join, what will they be doing there? Mr. Speaker, and this budget has a provision for the cancellation of the tax on prospecting. If we cancel the tax on prospecting, do you know what will happen? many of the areas that are plagued with illegal mining activities tend to be people's concessions. Because they have difficulty in prospecting, they are not developing them. When you cancel the tax on prospecting, all these companies will move in and prospect. When they prospect, they will relinquish some areas. And when they relinquish those areas, you can convert those areas into community mining sites. And you can also establish medium and small scale mining licenses there. And those people who are engaged in galamsey, those who are engaged, if you go to all the places where we have serious problems, you will find out that the galamsey activities are happening in people's concessions. And we need to encourage them to relinquish them. And they will only do so after they have prospected and established that they don't need those sites. But small-scale miners can do well at those sites. Mr. Speaker, what is the track record of the NPP when it comes to the management of our gold? We haven't forgotten. We haven't forgotten about the royalties deal. Ajapa royalties. Ajapa royalties. When you attempted to sell all the future gold of this country, you tried to sell all the gold, the future gold that will be mined in this country, the royalties. You wanted to collect the money ahead and spend it. It was when Ghanaians resisted that you stopped. That is why my uncle Mate Hamidu, in his corruption risk analysis, described someone as the mother serpent of corruption. It was as a result of what happened in the attempt to force Ajapa royalties on the people of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, let me go to the health sector. What is the track record of the NPP? I remember during Corona, there was a period of time when every day we will be locked up in our rooms, and then a certain man will come and say, fellow Ghanaians. Update number 8 of fellow Ghanaians. That's when he promised 88 regional and district hospitals. Later, it increased to 111. Mr.
Honorable Tobin, Honorable Member for Anya Sotum, why are you in the habit of shouting from the back? Please, I didn't give you the floor to be on your feet. Please. Please. Why? We are all honorable members. And we need to behave as such. Yes, Majority Leader, continue.
Mr. Speaker, during the 8th update on Sunday, 26th of April 2020, promised to construct 88 regional and district hospitals. Within 1 year, Mr. Speaker, he later increased it to 111 hospitals. Each hospital, the district hospital, each hospital is to cost 17 million United States dollars. How many beds? 120 beds. Regional hospitals, each to cost 87 million United States dollars. How many beds? 160 beds. Mr. Speaker, the NPP spent $400 million without finishing one single hospital. $400 million and did not finish one. Mr. Speaker, let's talk about corruption. Let's talk about corruption. Mr. Speaker, let me recall my Fufulsu Primary School mathematics. Let me recall the assistance of my Fufulsu Primary School mathematics. $85 million for a 160-bed hospital comes to $500 $131,000 United States dollars per bed. The NPP wanted to construct hospitals, and per bed, it will cost the country $531,000 United States dollars. Full mathematics. Mr. Speaker, the district hospitals, $17 million per 120-bed hospital. By the same full mathematics standards, each bed is going to cost the Ghanaian $141,000 United States dollars. My brother, the minority leader, has constructed a big hospital in his constituency. I'm aware. He said it in this parliament, in Winnipeg. Is that how much he constructed the beds for, the hospitals for, per bed? Mr. Speaker, this is a scandal of monumental proportions. And like I said, $400 million spent and not one single hospital completed. When even one district hospital is just 17 million by your standard. If you divide 400 million by 17, how many would you have completed by now? And you stand in this chamber, and for the past 1 week, you have no debating point except to say that we have not made provision for the completion of Agenda 111 hospitals. If you wanted to finish Agenda 111 hospital, you would have done so. And I'll show you how. I'll show you how. Mr. Speaker, as election approached, they pretended that 3 of them had been completed. One at Trede, one at Kokobin, the other at Bokro. What did they do? They went and hired generators, went there and started, put the lights on, got the old man, His Excellency the former president, to come and commission it, put the plaque there, and when he left, they took the generators away and locked the place. So not even one hospital is functioning. You promised 111 hospitals as far back as 2021. And you delivered 0. And NDC has been in office for only 9 months, and you expect all the hospitals to be finished. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? What level of expectation is this? Mr. Speaker, the health sector is doing well now. The National Health Insurance Authority had its fund uncapped. And since then, an additional 3.4 billion Ghana cedis has flown to the National Health Insurance Authority. The highest in the history of the scheme. The highest. Mr. Speaker, healthcare providers are now more confident. They know that when they treat patients and they make a claim under National Health Insurance, they will be reimbursed. There's greater confidence in NHIA. And NHIA has become financially reliable, has become stable, and is trusted by providers. Under the NPP, it was collapsing. Mr. Speaker, I have heard from this side that adding the expenditure on the Ghana Medical Trust Fund, Mahama Cares, amounts to capping NHIA funds. Mr. Speaker, this kind of argument can only be coming from people who are groping in the dark for an argument, because they don't have an argument. Mr. Speaker, if we hadn't awarded $100 million contract to Lightwave Solutions Limited for simply maintaining the records of hospitals, you would have had more money to finish Agenda 111 hospitals. Get fund. You borrowed under the Daiichi bond and spent all the money ahead of its collection. You've forgotten. That's how you manage Get Fund. We came and we've uncapped Get Fund. And because we have uncapped Get Fund, so much money is going there. You are claiming that you introduced free SHS. But we can say we are better implementers of SHS. You are claiming that you introduced NHIA. I can say here that we are better implementers of NHIA. Because when you introduce and you don't finance well, the system will collapse. Mr. Speaker, Common Fund has now become common. Under the MPP, Common Fund was uncommon because they never released the money. We have uncapped and we are making sure that 80% of Common Fund money is going to the assemblies directly. And it is enriching the districts, creating jobs in the districts, boosting the local economy. And I can see that when you look at inflation, it's down. When you look at the indicators, they are performing well. All because there is vibrant economic activity taking place at the local level. Mr. Speaker, let me go to taxes. This budget marks a shift from an economy that was burdened with e-levy to an economy that is free from e-levy. You stood in this chamber and said that this economy will collapse if e-levy was not imposed. We have removed e-levy and the economy is doing better. Mr. Speaker, when you say road, they'll say e-levy. When you say you need a hospital, they'll say allow us to pass e-levy. When you say you want to employ teachers, they say e-levy. And they forced us and passed e-levy. We have removed e-levy and the economy is doing better. Mr. Speaker, this budget marks a shift from an economy burdened by COVID levy to an economy that is free from COVID levy. COVID levy has been taken away. Mr. Speaker, this budget has also confirmed that our decision earlier in the year to remove the withholding tax on gold sales is indeed revolutionizing the gold subsector. Mr. Speaker, an argument has been made in this House by friends opposite that we inherited a good economy. And I've heard my colleague, the minority leader, repeat that argument here. And that it is because we inherited a good economy that we are able to promptly pay our debts. I heard that. Mr. Speaker, the reason why we are able to pay our debts is because we replaced fiscal recklessness and criminal management of the economy with honest, responsible fiscal management of the economy. We replaced recklessness with prudence. The era of bloated, opaque, and corrupt expenditures are no longer the order of the day. Because Atuforcing will not allow bloated, opaque, and corrupt expenditures. If that is what you say people are complaining about, this side of the House supports him. We will spend, but we will spend on the right matters. We will send the money to Common Fund. We will send the money to Get Fund. We will send the money to NHIA. Mr. Speaker, and we will spend and we will retool our armed forces. Mr. Speaker, if this government was dumping $58 million in massive holes in the name of building a cathedral, we would not have been able to honor our debt obligations. 97 million. Mr. Speaker, if we're looting and plundering the resources of ECG the way it was done in the past, we will not be able to honor our debts. If we're giving HAPTEL 3% of ECG revenues, we will not be able to pay our debts. ECG developed their own mobile app. And Haptel came and collected $12 million from them just to enhance that app. $12 million to enhance an app. And after that, they were taking 3% of the revenues that have been generated by the same app that ECG used their money to develop, for which Haptel collected $12 million to enhance. If we were managing the economy that way, we will not be able to honor our debt obligations. If we're wasting money on fraudulent schemes like Zipline, we're giving them $15 million to drop blood in rural areas. Those monies could have fixed the roads to those rural areas. Mr. Speaker, if Atufosun was approving monies so that we can give $108 million contract for servicing and maintaining our ambulances, we will not be able to honor our debt obligations. Mr. Speaker, $108 million to service ambulances, not to buy new ambulances, but to buy spare parts and service ambulances. This is how you manage the economy. That's how you could not pay the debt. That's how you put us in the kind of debt that you put us. That's how you had to do the debt exchange program. Mr. Speaker, if we were stealing GRA money under contracts similar to SML, where 1.5 billion Ghana cedis was paid to SML without proper evaluation, we will not have been able to honor our debt obligations. Mr. Speaker, SML, it is reported, when they added upstream oil contracts to them, the contract value ballooned to close to 500 million United States dollars. Indeed, I've come to accept their name, Strategic Mobilization Limited, to strategically mobilize and loot the monies of Ghanaians. If you were not strategically mobilizing and looting Ghanaians' money, you would have been able to construct 111 hospitals in 4 years. Mr. Speaker, now the former finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, wants us to sympathize with him that he is sick. Even when he was sick and his own MPs wanted him to resign, he refused and said he could manage the economy despite his obvious ill health. We're all here in this chamber. It was obvious that he wasn't well, but he insisted on managing the economy. Today, he's being called to come and account, and we are being told that we should sympathize with him because he is sick. Mr. Speaker, for 4 good years, he turned this chamber into a Bible school. I remember his famous his famous Bible quotations. Matthew 14:13 to 21. He referred us to the loaves and fish parables. I remember Deuteronomy 8:18. Mr. Speaker, after many years of tutelage, after many years of being taught by Ken Ofori-Atta, which we have learned the Bible. So today, I'll refer him to Luke 19, verse 1 to 10. Luke 19, verse 1 to 10. And since my brother started with a lengthy Bible quotation, let me also go through a lengthy Bible quotation. Luke 19, verses 1 to 10 says, Jesus entered Jericho and was passing through. A man was there by the name of Zacchaeus. He was a chief tax collector. What was Ken Ofori-Atta? Chief tax collector. He was in charge of GRA. And what do GRA do? They collect tax. So clearly, Zacchaeus in the Bible resembles Ken Ofori-Atta. A man was there by the name Zacchaeus. He was a chief tax collector and he was wealthy. A man who owns a bank, data bank, owns enterprise. Is he not a wealthy man? Is there no resemblance? between Zacchaeus and Ken Oforiatta. He wanted to see Jesus. He wanted to see Jesus. But because he was short, he could not see over the crowd. So he ran ahead and climbed a sycamore fig tree to see him, since Jesus was coming that way. When Jesus reached the spot, he looked up and said to him, Zacchaeus, come down immediately. I said to Ken Oforiatta, come back to Ghana immediately. Zacchaeus! Zacchaeus! Oforiatta! Oforiatta! And Jesus said to Zacchaeus, I must stay at your house today. Mr. Speaker, if you recall, we tried to go and stay in his house recently. So he came down at once, and Jesus welcomed him gladly. All the people saw this and began to mutter, he has gone to be the guest of a sinner. The people said that Jesus has gone to be the guest of a sinner. Mr. Speaker, I didn't start with the Bible today. My brother started with the Bible today, and I'm just following his footsteps so that he knows I haven't forgotten my Bible lessons too. Mr. Speaker, the people said he has gone to be the guest of a sinner. But Zacchaeus stood up and said to the Lord, look, Lord, here and now, I give half of my possessions to the poor. And if I have cheated anybody out of anything, I will pay back 4 times the amount. Ken Oforiatta, come back. If you haven't cheated anybody, come back. If you haven't cheated anybody, come back. And when you come and we determine that you have cheated, you have to pay 4 times. And Jesus said to him, today salvation has come to this house.
Honorable
Mr. Speaker,
Jinapo, it appears the members don't want you to leave. It appears they are happy about your presence. That's just by the way. Yes, Honorable Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, and Jesus said to him, today salvation has come to this house because this man too is a son of Abraham. Ken Oforiatta too is a son of Ghana, so he should come home. The Son of Man came to seek and to save the lost. Mr. Speaker, I will end my Bible lessons here and to show to my colleague, my minority leader, that he doesn't know the Bible better than me. Mr. Speaker, if he doesn't know, my mother used to own a church. Let's continue. Financial sector mismanagement of the NPP. Paragraph 275, Paragraph 258 to 268 speak to the good health of our financial sector. The sector is rebounding and confidence is being restored after the NPP collapsed the sector. The NPP destroyed the financial sector at great cost to the taxpayer, and I will demonstrate it. At the end of 2024, government had spent 29.8 billion Ghana cedis to support the financial sector cleanup exercise. 23 billion for banking, and then 5.16 billion for the non-banking institutions. Mr. Speaker, damage caused. 9 commercial banks were collapsed by the NPP. Unibank, Royal Bank, Beige Bank, Sovereign Bank, Construction Bank, UT Bank, Capital Bank, Premium Bank, Heritage Bank. All these 9 banks were collapsed under NPP. 347 microfinance institutions were collapsed by the NPP. 39 microcredit companies were collapsed. 29 finance houses and savings loans companies were collapsed. Mr. Speaker, in the end, they deprived 10,000 workers of their jobs. Today, you stand here and ask us, where are the jobs? When you collapse all the banks and render the people jobless. Mr. Speaker, let me get back to Fufutsu Primary School mathematics. They collapsed the banks and they spent monies, fraction of which could have saved the banks. That was your style of economic management. Let me apply my Fufutsu mathematics. They increased the capital adequacy ratio to 400 million Ghana cedis. Capital adequacy ratio. And then you collapse 9 banks and spend 11.7 billion Ghana cedis in 2018 to clean the resultant mess of the collapse of 9 banks. If you divide 11.7 billion Ghana cedis by 400 million, you will get 29 banks. So 9 banks are sick. You don't cure them. You collapse them, and then you spend money that you could have used to create 29 banks to deal with the mess. That was your record when it came to the management of the finances of this country. Mr. Speaker, this is Fufutsu mathematics. Mr. Speaker, and most of the banks that were collapsed were our local banks. You talk about job creation. Mr. Speaker, let's look at the social and also the capital expenditure outlay in the budget. You will see clearly that those expenditures, when implemented, will definitely create jobs. Over 60 billion Ghana cedis worth of road contracts have been awarded under the big push. When you hear big push, you should hear big jobs. Big push, big jobs. 60 billion Ghana cedis worth of road contracts. Can you imagine how many carpenters will be used? Can you imagine how many masons will be used? Can you imagine how many engineers will be used? Can you imagine how many truck operators will be used? How many bulldozer operators will be used? How many cement sellers will sell? Do you know how many jobs will be created by the big push of over $60 billion contracts? I'm surprised that you don't understand where to spend. Why? When Donald Trump was talking about creating jobs, he talked about big expenditure. Big ticket expenditure creates big jobs. And I am very confident that by the end we finish with the over 60 billion Ghana cedis big push projects, not less than 400,000 direct and indirect jobs will be created. And we will be halfway through our target. Mr. Speaker, we have allocated 100 million for the completion of the 10 Agenda 11 hospitals. The kitchen is getting too hot.
No,
Kitchen is getting too hot. 100 million Ghana cedis for the completion of 10 Agenda 1 hospitals. Many jobs. 200 million for the construction of mini stadia. Many jobs. 200 new junior high schools. Many jobs. 200 new primary schools. Many jobs. 200 kindergartens. Many jobs. 400 4-unit teacher bungalows. Many jobs. 400 places of convenience. Many jobs. Mr. Speaker, jobs. All these will create jobs. So those who are saying that this budget doesn't say anything about creating jobs, I'm wondering where in the budget they were reading. Because it's littered everywhere that these measures, when undertaken, will definitely create jobs. Mr. Speaker, let me go to social expenditure. We have allocated 1.1 billion to the LEAP program. 1.1 billion Ghana cedis to the LEAP program. It's never happened before. Biggest jump. We have programmed 9 billion in 2026 for NHIS claims. 9 billion. Never happened before. We're establishing the Women's Bank. You say 401 million Ghana cedis cannot establish a bank. You don't establish a bank one day. The team needs the 400 million first to go through the process of acquiring the license from the central bank. That's what they need first. If they haven't acquired the license, on what basis would they now be taking money to build banking halls? So you need the money for the banking license first. And that is why you have 401 million Ghana cedis to meet the capital adequacy requirement. Mr. Speaker, 170 million for the National Apprenticeship Program, social expenditure, skills building, jobs. 169 million Ghana cedis for BCE registration. 474 million for nursing training allowances. 2.3 billion for Ghana Medical Cares, Mahama Cares. 292 million for free sanitary pads. Mr. Speaker, you spoke about sanitary pads. I'm sure at the right time, the Minister for Education will give you the actual prices and the quantity of the sanitary pads that have been procured. And 50 million has also been allocated for the procurement of fishing nets. 20 million for the creative arts. Mr. Speaker, all these allocations and the expenditure will create jobs. Now you talk about 24-hour economy. 24-hour economy. 24-hour economy. 24-hour economy is not an event so that you will say, oh, why it hasn't happened. 24-hour economy is a process. It is a process of enabling a quantum leap in our national productive capacity so that we will produce 24 hours. Mr. Speaker, and one fundamental component of being able to produce 24 hours is to enhance your security. If you cannot secure banks to open beyond a certain point, they cannot work 24 hours. If you cannot secure filling stations to open 24 hours, can they open 24 hours? They cannot, because of security. If there is no energy, adequate energy supply, there will be no 24-hour economy. And so we are dealing with the fundamental issues that will enable a 24-hour economy. Mr. Speaker, and it is a lie that we have overcapacity when it comes to energy generation. I can assure you that as we speak, we are consuming all our installed capacity. Check from the energy minister. Check from the energy minister. He will tell you, not because of 1D, 1F, because the private sector has suddenly become confident in our economy, and they are investing, and they are producing, and they are using energy. That is what is generating the surge in the utilization of our energy. So we're almost at that point where we are going to get overstretched in terms of the supply of energy. And that is why we are introducing structural reforms. We are building a second gas processing plant so that we can bring in more independent power producers. And that is why we are thinking smart. And instead of keeping our billions of dollars in accounts in the US, which is generating only 1% for us, we will rather bring it back here, and then we will use it to establish our own power generation plants, and we will produce power at a much, much cheaper cost. So we are thinking smart. This budget is thinking smart, Mr. Speaker. And finally, 24-hour economy. Let me announce that the bill to establish the 24-hour economy authority is in this House. It has arrived. What you've been asking about, the bill to establish the 24-hour economy authority has landed. I click it. It has clicked. I pick it. I pick it. Mr. Speaker, 24-hour economy. I pick it. And my brother stood here and said, John Mahama is increasing electricity tariffs by over 18% in 2025. Mr. Speaker, we are all listening to radio. I have not heard the announcement of a tariff increment of 18% in this country. At all, I have not heard. We were invited to a session organized by PURC, and they established that in 2024, when you were supposed to allow them to increase electricity tariffs, you prevented them from increasing electricity tariffs. And that is how the debts accumulated, because ECG was not making enough money to pay those debts. And so they were pleading with us to allow them to increase the tariffs. But no increment has been made yet. And that is the job of PURC. So, Mr. Speaker, that statement that he made here, that tariffs have been increased by 18%, is totally untrue. It is false. Mr. Speaker, let me conclude by thanking the Minister of Finance for bringing such an excellent budget to this House, for such excellent, smart, forward-looking plans and strategies to transform our economy. Mr. Speaker, major initiatives have been planned. There is a plan to construct a sewage treatment plant to replace the existing one here. There is a plan to construct an interconnecting concourse between Terminal 2 and Terminal 3. All those are jobs. There is a plan to construct a multi-purpose, multi-story car park at Terminal 3. Jobs will be created. Sunyani Airport runway and terminal renovation and extension will happen. Bolaratanga Airport will be developed. Wa Airport will be renovated. Mr. Speaker, and as for social interventions, I'm surprised that he doesn't know that no fee stress is a social intervention. I'm surprised that he doesn't know that Mahama Cares is a social intervention. I'm surprised that he doesn't know that all the money that we are spending on education through GET Fund, which was established under the NDC, is a social intervention. And I'm surprised that he doesn't know that Common Fund, which was established in the Constitution, passed by the NDC through at the time that the PNDC was in office, is a major social intervention. So we have a longer history of social intervention than you can recount. So I don't want you to ever say that NDC has never introduced a social intervention. Mr. Speaker, on that note, let me thank honorable colleagues and thank the minister and say that this year's commentary on the budget have been very impressive. I'm impressed with the contributions, and from this stage, I believe we will go and consider the sector budgets. I urge chairpersons, I urge ranking members to use the facilities that we have created, which is the live telecast of committee budget hearings, so that the public can see the work that we do at committee in the consideration of the budget. Mr. Speaker, I thank you very much.
Honourable members, let me use the opportunity to thank the two leaders for their concluding remarks. I will therefore give the floor to the minister who presented the budget.
Mr. Speaker, thanks for the opportunity to make a concluding statement to bring the debate on the 2026 budget statement to a close. Mr. Speaker, 2 weeks ago, acting under the authority of His Excellency the President, I presented the 2026 budget statement and economic policy of government to this House. Since then, Mr. Speaker, honorable members have taken their turns to interrogate its policies and proposals. Many contributions have been constructive. Others, regrettably, were built on deliberate mischiefs, misunderstanding, selective reading of data, or argument that collapse the moment you place them beside the facts. Mr. Speaker, this is a House of Records. So in concluding, I'll take my time to correct some misimpressions and some information that has been placed unanswered. Mr. Speaker, first, let me start with a statement made by Honorable Abena Osei-Asare on industry, growth, and 1D, 1F argument. Mr. Speaker, my colleague, the Honorable Abena Osei-Asare, claimed that industry slowed because of 1D, 1F, and that 1D, 1F has been cancelled, and as a result, the industry growth has slowed. Mr. Speaker, according to the Ghana Statistical Service, the oil and gas subsector contracted by 18.1% in the first quarter of 2025 and 22.5% in the second quarter, averaging about 20.1% in the first half of 2025. That single structural shock pulled overall industry growth down to 3.4% in the first half of 2025. The cause was clear, Mr. Speaker, and this is because of three things. One, corruption in the sector, and two, underinvestment, Mr. Speaker, and most importantly, operational decline in the petroleum volumes, as we have seen. Mr. Speaker, it had nothing to do with the cancellation of 1D, 1F or realignment of 1D, 1F. Even more interestingly, Mr. Speaker, the subsector of which 1D, 1F beneficiaries actually sat grew by 6.3% in the first half of 2025. So, Mr. Speaker, I'm surprised to hear a former Minister of State at Ministry of Finance make argument that is not founded on data. Mr. Speaker, clearly,
this has been misinterpreted and the actual details are not coming out. Mr. Speaker, this budget expands, it does not constrain. Mr. Speaker, let me take my time to point to certain key factors, expenditure lines in the budget that will expand industry. We are rolling out 500 million United States dollars oil palm development financing window. Mr. Speaker, we are also acquiring 4,000 agricultural machinery, 4,000 agricultural machineries to boost industry. Mr. Speaker, we have created new incentives for textiles, agro-processing and pharmaceutical industry that are export-oriented. Mr. Speaker, these are all in the budget. Right, Honorable Speaker, in addition, the VAT reforms are designed to foster business expansions and create new jobs opportunities. Mr. Speaker, I heard my good friend and brother, Afenyo Kwamena Market, aka Chairman One, making a statement that we have rather added small businesses into the VAT net. Mr. Speaker, I've always cautioned him that I know him to be a lawyer, I know him to be a litigant, but I don't know him to be a tax expert. And so when it comes to areas of taxes, he should defer that to me and I'll help him accordingly. Mr. Speaker, rather, what this government has done is that we have exempted businesses turning over up to 750,000 Ghana cedis from the charging and collection of VAT. This is a government that cares. Right, Honorable Speaker. The evidence before us does not support the conclusion that cancelling 1D, 1F has caused the industry sector to rather decline. In fact, it is contrary to the statement that was made by Honorable Abena Osei-Asare. The Speaker, on the fiscal side, the Honorable Gideon Boakun made some statement that, the Speaker, it is worth important that I clarify. The Honorable Gideon Boakun argued that we missed at least 50% of our budget target. It is curious and inaccurate claim, Mr. Speaker, because none of our macro data support these assertions from him. Right, Honorable Speaker. On the contrary, we have met every single macro indicator that we announced in the 2025. Mr. Speaker, in fact, we have overperformed. Mr. Speaker, let me take my time to take you through it. Right, Honorable Speaker. Growth for the first half of the year stood at 6.3%. 6.3%, comfortably above the revised target of 4%. Mr. Speaker, this simply means we actually programmed for 4% and we are doing 6.3%. Mr. Speaker, we have overperformed. Second quarter, Mr. Speaker, inflation fell from 23.8% in 2024 to 8% by October 2025. Mr. Speaker, our target was actually 11%. We have overperformed. We have not missed the target. Mr. Speaker, growth, let me say it again. Mr. Speaker, we programmed to grow by 4%. As at first half of the year, second quarter, we have grown 6.3%. Mr. Speaker, I urge my colleagues to listen to the government statistician when he's speaking. Right, Honorable Speaker, the primary balance swung from a deficit of 3% of GDP in 2024 to a surplus of 1.6%. 1.6% in September 2025. Mr. Speaker, that is not underperformance, it is indeed overperformance. In fact, we programmed to do 1.5% of GDP. We have actually exceeded that. Mr. Speaker, the public debt as at October 2025 decreased from 61.8% of GDP to 45% of GDP. Mr. Speaker, 45% of GDP. Right, Honorable Speaker, gross reserves strengthened from 4 months of import cover to 4.8 months of import cover. Mr. Speaker, every single indicator, we have not only achieved it, but we have actually outperformed the target. These are facts. Mr. Speaker, these are facts. They are recognized by the markets, by the investor community, recognized by rating agencies and international communities, including the IMF and the World Bank. These are facts. Mr. Speaker, this is not a profile of a government that misses target. In fact, this is a profile of a government that is regaining credibility through discipline. And that is the record of President Mohammed's administration. Mr. Speaker, I'll now take you to growth, jobs, and the logic that our colleague from the MPP raised. Mr. Speaker, the opposition or the minority, through again the Honorable Kojo Oponkroma, Honorable Abena Sare, and then Honorable Dr. Amin Adam, says projecting 4.8% growth in 2026 after a strong first half growth in 2025 is illogical. In truth, it is responsible rather. Mr. Speaker, it is not illogical, but rather it shows how a responsible government should act. Mr. Speaker, we prefer realism to wishful forecasting. That is why our growth assumptions are anchored in evidence, not political bravado. Mr. Speaker, this is critical for economic management. And because, Mr. Speaker, they are anchored in evidence, they are also very credible. And we will ensure that these our credible projections are achieved by the end of the year. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Amin Adam further cast doubt on inflation outturns and suggested that the 2026 budget is growthless and jobless. This assertion is also far from accurate. Mr. Speaker, indeed, it cannot be the case. Ghana's disinflation is not a coincidence, but as a result of deliberate policy interventions. Mr. Speaker, we did not just achieve the numbers that we are seeing. It is as a result of deliberate policy interventions implemented by the Bahama administration. Data from the Ghana Statistical Service showed that food inflation was the main driver of price volatilities that we see. So we responded with targeted large-scale supply-side actions. Mr. Speaker, we take those data very serious and we respond appropriately. And let me tell you what we did, Mr. Speaker. The Feed Ghana input expansion and vegetable value chain, as you can find in the budget in paragraph 430 to 433, tells you exactly what we have done. Mr. Speaker, irrigation covering more than 10,000 hectares also tells you exactly what we have done. Mr. Speaker, mechanization through the Farmer Service Center will tell you exactly what we are doing to tackle food inflation. Mr. Speaker, no wonder inflation is declining from 23 to 8 and projected to go down more. Mr. Speaker, we are backing this with a construction of 1,000 kilometers of agriculture enclave route to cut transport costs and ease market access. Right, Honorable Speaker, aside that, we are investing 200 million Ghana cedis through the Ghana Buffer Stock Company to be able to buy excess and glad food in the market. Mr. Speaker, this is what it means for us to use data to shape government policy. Mr. Speaker, I take you now to what we call the credit rating agency and the stability story, as was criticized by the Honorable Trinebua Kodua Fokuo. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable colleague, the Honorable Trinebua Kodua Fokuo, have argued that Ghana's credit rating upgrade was as a result of high commodity prices. Mr. Speaker, let me put on record that cocoa and gold prices did not suddenly jump in 2025. They were high in the year 2023 as well. Mr. Speaker, yet in 2023, under the previous administration, the cedi collapsed when commodity prices were high. Mr. Speaker, reserves declined when commodity prices were high. Debt
Minister,
actually surged.
Honorable Minister, you can pause for now. The Speaker will take the chair. Please, you can continue. Minister, you can continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in 2023, under the previous administration, the cedi collapsed when in fact commodity prices had recorded all-time high. Mr. Speaker, reserves declined when cocoa prices surged and gold prices went up. Debt actually surged. Inflation actually worsened. Mr. Speaker, at that time, Ukraine-Russia war had not intensified, yet your cedi fell. Today, there is Ukraine and there is Russia conflict ongoing. In fact, it has intensified, but yet the currency has stabilized. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, the difference is not commodity price. The difference can certainly not be commodity price, but rather competent management and quality management. That is what you see. Right, Honorable Speaker? In the words of Standard & Poor, and I quote, Standard & Poor statement credited Ghana's upgrade to improved fiscal discipline, stronger buffers, and credible consolidation path. And that is the words of Standard & Poor. Mr. Speaker, they did not just attribute it to commodity price. And so the honorable member cannot be right. These are policy outcomes. They are as a result of choices made by His Excellency President Mahama, deliberate choices made by President Mahama. Mr. Speaker, on our fiscal path and homegrown, it's important for me to, Mr. Speaker, make this point. And right, Honorable Speaker, let me be blunt. Stability did not return because of the IMF program alone. As a core member of the opposition claimed, Mr. Speaker, stability returned because this government chose a fundamental different path, an expenditure-led consolidation instead of revenue-led consolidation that protected citizens from further tax fatigue. Mr. Speaker, that is exactly what President Mahama decided to do. We cut waste, we reset expenditure to 2023 levels, we enforced commitment control, we audited arrests, we aligned cash to priorities, we restored discipline across MDAs and coordinated monetary policy with a clear anchor. Mr. Speaker, we did not leave the central bank alone to anchor the national currency. The Ministry of Finance and the government got involved to anchor the national currency. That is the difference that you see. Mr. Speaker, that is how you restore confidence. That is how you stabilize the currency. And that is how you rebuild credibility across an economy. Mr. Speaker, that is important to know. Right, Honorable Speaker, on the security center, at the security sector, our colleague, the Honorable Intim Fojo, made some wild claims that our security investment amount to luxury spending. Mr. Speaker, this cannot be accurate. There is the need for us to retool the security, and it's important as a country that we have to come together to retool the security. So, Speaker, this administration inherited a security sector that had been starved of modern equipment. We are correcting it. The aircraft referenced in the budget are not luxury aircraft. Mr. Speaker, I want to use this opportunity to assure this House that the aircraft, the helicopters and the aircraft that will be purchased by the Ghana Armed Forces will certainly not have a bathroom. There will be no bathroom in that aircraft. Mr. Speaker, it is not a luxury aircraft that will have a bathroom, and it's important I make that point. They are strategic mobility assets for troop deployment, for emergency response, border security, and peacekeeping. It will certainly not be a luxury aircraft that will have a bathroom. It will be for the use of the Ghana Armed Forces. Mr. Speaker, no serious country leaves its soldiers under-resourced, and no responsible government makes an ad hoc pitches without an integrated capacity plan. Mr. Speaker, our approach is strategic, sequenced, and fiscally responsible. Mr. Speaker, in fact, the $96 million that has been spent on the National Cathedral, of which we see only a borehole, that amount can actually buy more than the 4 helicopters that we are buying for the Ghana Armed Forces. So, Speaker, that amount can be used to buy more than the 4 helicopters for the national for the Ghana Armed Forces. The Speaker, let me put on record that the Ghana Armed Forces are not engaging any middleman. They are working directly, country to country, to acquire this aircraft for the people of Ghana and for the Ghana Armed Forces. So, Speaker, on the issue of the Accra-Kumasi Expressway, let me take my time, Mr. Speaker, to correct some impressions. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Asenso Boache suggested that the proposed Accra-Kumasi Expressway is wasteful. And that we in the opposition opposed the dualization. Mr. Speaker, that cannot be the case. Mr. Speaker, I was surprised and amazed to see a colleague, member of parliament, particularly an MP from Kumasi, to describe the project as wasteful. Mr. Speaker, an MP of which the road is leading to his constituency will say that the road is wasteful. Mr. Speaker, to the extent that the said MP wrote to the president to say to the president that don't do that project. Mr. Speaker, I am surprised. I am surprised. I am surprised. Mr. Speaker, I'm surprised to hear that. And so, Mr. Speaker, let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. That this road from Accra to Kumasi is more than a road. It is opening up a country. So for an MP from that constituency to write and to say that the road is wasteful and we should not do it, and write to the president that the president should not do the project, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, it's untenable. Right, Honorable Speaker.
Yes. Honorable Minority Chief Whip.
Speaker, I'm grateful for your indulgence. Speaker, when we met at conclave, the prior agreement were that the leaders will conclude. And the minister, our colleague, walked in and then prayed you that you have some 15 minutes. Well, we don't have a problem, and that has been a practice. Finance ministers, when they present budgets, they get the opportunity to give closing remarks. We don't have any problem with that. Speaker, our colleague is speaking to mentioning specific names, and then, would you listen? Speaker, if anybody on the majority side wishes to speak, get up and catch the other speaker. Speaker, it cannot be. The minister, we don't have a problem if he's giving closing remarks. He had begged for 15 minutes. Now he's mentioning specific members and attacking them. Now, Speaker, if it is the case, these colleagues are not in the chamber. And largely, Speaker, I think it's important our colleagues come to terms with the fact that this house is a two-sided house. You have your side, we have our side. Now when I'm speaking, you don't want me, you are interrupting me. Why? Get up and catch the other speaker. You cannot interrupt me. If you want to speak, catch the other speaker. That is how decent discussions are.
Honorable Minority Chief Whip, please. I allowed you because I thought you were going to raise a point of order. So far, you've not done that.
Speaker, with respect. Yes, Speaker, with respect, if I may. Speaker, I didn't want to come under 123.
You may not. You may not. Please, Speaker, let the minister conclude. Let the minister conclude. Please, Minister.
You should be concluding. You are attacking us. We won't get the opportunity to rebut.
Right, Honorable Speaker. I began my submission by saying that this is a house of records and that it is important for me to correct some misimpressions created during the debate. Mr. Speaker, during the debate, throughout the debate, I made sure my deputy sat through the debate to listen, together with staff from the Ministry of Finance sitting at the gallery to take notes, so that, Mr. Speaker, I'll be able to respond and during the conclusion. Mr. Speaker, what I'm doing here is to correct the misimpressions and to put on record that these data, as being provided by my colleagues opposite, cannot be accurate. Mr. Speaker, on the issue relating to the Accra-Kumasi Expressway, Mr. Speaker, I wish the honorable colleague, a member of parliament who made that statement, is here in this house, so that I can challenge him that if he has not written to the president, Mr. Speaker, I want to put it to him, if I wish he's here, for him to say it, that if he has not written to President John Mahama, saying, Mr. Speaker, I'm not alleging, I want him to prove it. Mr. Speaker, I want him to first deny here so that I can provide you evidence. Mr. Speaker, he did not only stop there. He went on to describe the road leaving Accra to Kumasi, the first expressway of its kind, as wasteful. Mr. Speaker, it can't be wasteful. It cannot be wasteful. It is actually transformational. It is what will open this country up. Mr. Speaker, the Chinese says that if you want to get rich, build roads first. We will get rich and we'll build the roads that will connect this country properly. Right, Honorable Speaker, let me use this opportunity to also correct some misimpressions around the Value for Money Office. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Lawrence Ajinsem misunderstands the purpose of the Value for Money Office, and such, during his presentation, he made certain assertions. Mr. Speaker, he is of the view that PPA can perform that function. But Mr. Speaker, let me take my time to explain what this Value for Money Office seeks to do. The PPA actually ensures compliance with procurement processes. It does not, it was never designed to undertake rigorous technical engineering and financial audit of billions of Ghana cedis of infrastructure projects. That is not the mandate of PPA. Mr. Speaker, Ghana needs both compliance and value for money. That is why the Value for Money Office is not a duplication. It is rather a protection. It is a firewall between taxpayers and inflated contracts. Mr. Speaker, it is important for us to understand that PPA cannot be the same as Value for Money Office. And why Ghana needs a Value for Money Office, Mr. Speaker, I can simplify this in 6 bullet points only. Mr. Speaker, first, procurement compliance is not value for money. The PPA focuses on procurement procedures, not cost efficiency, life cycle costing, technical soundness, or post-contract verification. Mr. Speaker, again, this closes legal and institutional gaps in the PFM Act. Right, Honorable Speaker, the current Public Financial Management Regulation requires PFM assessment only for single source procurement. Mr. Speaker, a dedicated VFM office extends this assurance to all public projects, procurement methods, and funding sources, including PPPs, SOEs, IGF projects, and donor-funded projects. Mr. Speaker, this has never been the case under the old architecture, and so it's important for us to correct that. Mr. Speaker, this will also prevent inflated prices and cost overruns. Right, Honorable Speaker, Ghana lacks a central mechanism, particularly to benchmark prices, and it's important for us to create that. Mr. Speaker, again, it provides technical assurance and cross-border, technical assurance across the entire project life cycle. Mr. Speaker, that is also very important for us to actually explain. Mr. Speaker, the PPA office will create an independent oversight mechanism. Up to today, that is missing. And it also aligns with Ghana and global best practices. Mr. Speaker, it's important for me to stress that today, as we speak, we have Value for Money Office structure in the United States, in Canada, right, Honorable Speaker, in the UK, again in Singapore. All these countries today have a Value for Money Office different from their procurement architecture. And so, Mr. Speaker, getting PFM architecture that will ensure value for money by creating a Value for Money Office that will be equipped with the right people will be important for our country going forward. Right, Honorable Speaker, the PPA regulates procurement procedures and does not provide project delivery as far as fair pricing is concerned. Its mandate is limited to checking it against certain flaws that we have seen. Mr. Speaker, the VFM office is adding additional layer and to ensure that our contract deserves and gets the needed pricing that we have seen that is missing in this country. Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, overpricing has become a big issue in this country. Overpricing of contract has become endemic in our country, and so it's important for us to deal with it. Mr. Speaker, I will end by making this statement. Right, Honorable Speaker, this budget delivers the following for the ordinary Ghanaian. We allocated 1.1 billion Ghana cedis to LEAP to protect the vulnerable. Aside that, we allocated 401 million Ghana cedis for the Women's Development Bank. We allocated 8.9 million Ghana cedis for District Assembly Common Fund, of which 7.2 billion Ghana cedis will go to the assemblies directly. 7.2 billion cedis will go to the assemblies directly. So, Speaker, we also allocated 500 million Ghana cedis to the district housing scheme. 20 million Ghana cedis was allocated to support Kumewood so that we can grow the film industry. Mr. Speaker, 2.3 million Ghana cedis was allocated to the Mahama case. 3 billion was allocated for textbooks, and 30 billion was allocated for the big push. Mr. Speaker, let me conclude by saying this. My colleague, the Honorable Afenyo Makin, made this statement. The Honorable Afenyo Makin made this statement that we should name one single social intervention that we have introduced since we came to office. Mr. Speaker, I don't know whether he's heard of the almighty no-fee stress. Mr. Speaker, that is a social intervention policy. Mr. Speaker, if you introduce free SHS and fail to find a sustainable sources of funding to the extent that the policy was collapsing when you were leaving office, and somebody comes in and creates a sustainable source of funding, who should have the credit? Mr. Speaker, President Mahama has created sustainable source of funding for free SHS. Aside, Mr. Speaker, we have created the Mahama Cares, the Ghana Medical Trust Fund. It is a social intervention policy. So, Speaker, that has been created by the NDC administration. Right, Honorable Speaker, let me say this. Ghana is on course. John Mahama is on course. And NDC is doing well and serving the people of Ghana with discipline. Mr. Speaker, we will do just that, and we'll do it for the people of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, I conclude.
Honorable Deputy Minority Leader, the Minister has concluded.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's just a point of clarification. I heard the Minister for Finance indicating that Honorable Asenso was talking about the abandonment of the project which they proposed. But that is a clear misrepresentation. He was talking, yes, that is the truth. We were all here, and then we know of the letter. So I think it's mischievous, and we need to have clarity on this issue. We have it on record. That he was saying that there's an existing project which is almost completed. So he should complete it. That was the suggestion. So, Mr. Speaker, for point of clarification, I think we should all be fair to each other. And the letter didn't even say that. Thank you very much.
Well, Minister, I wanted to say something because you are reopening the debate.
Have the letter,
and I don't want it, but once you said it, yes, the Minister has the right to reply.
Mr. Speaker, I have a copy of the letter with me, and so, Mr. Speaker, I want to send the letter to you. But, Mr. Speaker, I can read the details to you. Mr. Speaker, he said, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, first, it is on the letterhead of the Office of the Member of Parliament, Bantama Constituency, dated 4th August 2025. Dated 4th August 2025. He said, Dear Mr. President, appeal for reconsideration of the new Accra-Kumasi Expressway proposal. Mr. Speaker, appeal for reconsideration of the new Accra-Kumasi Expressway proposal. Mr. Speaker, I have the honor to convey my concern on the recent proposal by your administration to construct a completely new 6-lane expressway between Accra and Kumasi. Mr. Speaker, as someone who has served, he said that as someone who has served both as Minister of Roads and Highways and a Member of Parliament, representing a constituency directly linked to the Accra-Kumasi corridor. I fully appreciate the strategic importance of this route to our national economy, but it remains the most critical arterial road in this country, Ghana, linking our two largest cities and serving as a vital economic lifeline. But however, Your Excellency, since John Ejekum Kufuor administration, significant progress has been made in dualizing the corridor. Over 100 kilometers of the 240 kilometers stretch has been completed, with an additional 46 kilometers currently under active construction, including strategic bypasses at Enyinem, Osino, Enyinase, and Konongo, as per the country's own records. Mr. Speaker, it went on to say that the fiscal progress on this bypass ranges from 58% to 100%, with only 94 kilometers left to be dualized. The recent announcement to initiate a completely new expressway project, whilst these projects are underway, raises genuine concern, and I am particularly struck by the road minister's own admission that the ministry is in the process of hiring a consultant to undertake the feasibility study for the new project. This suggests that there is no final design, no cost estimate, no secured funding for the proposed expressway. Yet, Your Excellency stated publicly that construction will begin next year and be completed before your term ends. A timeline less than 3 years. With my expertise and experience, I can say without any fear of contradiction that this timeline is not feasible. It went on to say the following: with the greatest of respect, Mr. President, such pronouncement made ahead of critical project milestones like feasibility, costing, environmental clearance, and financing risk undermining our credibility in infrastructure phasing and infrastructure planning and public investment management. Moreover, Article 35(7) of the 1992 Constitution enjoins government to continue development projects initiated by previous administration in the national interest. It went on saying that abandoning an ongoing project, one that is technically sound, economically justifiable, and already delivering results, contradicts this constitution directive and may set a bad precedent for wasteful governance. So, Speaker, it went on to say that I am aware that the Minister for Roads and Highways has raised concerns about alleged cost overruns arising from project variations, which, while such claims deserve to be thoroughly investigated and, if necessary, addressed through appropriate corrective measures, they should not serve as justification. They should not serve as justification for abandoning the entire project. It went on to say that in the context of Ghana's current fiscal constraint and competing, I will share it. I have not shared anything. It's here. I have it here. I'm reading. He said that, Mr. Speaker, no, let me read it. I'm reading, Mr. Speaker, he's not listening. Listen to me. I have it here. I'm sharing it with you. Mr. Speaker, let me read everything. Mr. Speaker, abandoning the entire project, variations and cost adjustment are common in major infrastructure works and can be managed within existing contractual and legal framework. Discontinuing a critical national project on the basis of unresolved variations not only undermines continuity but also set a troubling precedent for future infrastructure development. Mr. Speaker, in the context of the Ghana's current fiscal constraint and competing infrastructure needs nationwide, I respectfully submit that it will be far more prudent to complete the existing dualization project than to commence a new, significant, more expensive one. Mr. Speaker, the resources, he went on to say that the resources needed for a fresh expressway could instead be channeled into completing the ongoing Accra-Kumasi dual carriageway and address other critical roads such as the Eastern Corridor, Coastal N1 Corridor, and Kumasi-Tamale Highway. He went on to say that, Your Excellency, my concern is born out of it's not born out of partisanship, but in the interest of continuity, prudence, and national development. I respectfully urge you to review the current course and provide leadership that consolidate, not disrupt, the modest gains we have made as a country. Please accept, Your Excellency, the assurance of my highest consideration. Mr. Speaker, clearly, Mr. Speaker, this is what he said. He said that the project should not be continued. This is what he said. So everybody knows what it is. Mr. Speaker, we all know what he said.
Honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members, at the time the honorable member referred to made his submissions, I was presiding. And exactly what the minister read is exactly what he submitted. No difference at all. And I'm sure if he had been here, he would have confirmed that. It's only you are looking at two different sides of the same coin. It's half empty, it's half full. That's all what is happening. If not, it's the same thing that he submitted here. Honorable members, we have now come to a successful end and conclusion of the commentary on the statement by the Honorable Minister for Finance on the budget and economic policy of government for the year ending 31st December 2026. We have other statements, but I'll be guided by leadership as to whether we will take the statements now or we call it a day. Now, yes, please.
Mr. Speaker, we had agreed that after the leaders have concluded the comments on the budget statement presented by the finance minister, and having listened to his concluding remarks, we'll call it a day. Tomorrow, we have quite a busy day. We want to remind members that the state funeral for the former First Lady will be taking place early in the morning from about 7 a.m. So we want to close today so that we can come back early tomorrow to participate in that. And then we can return to business at midday. Mr. Speaker, I humbly submit. The venue is at the Black Star Square. That's the funeral. So we want to urge members that we all meet here, and then the bus will convey members to the Black Star Square early in the morning. 7 a.m. Between 7 and 7:30, we need to be there. That's why we are closing early today. Mr. Speaker, I humbly submit.
Yes, please.
My respected colleague, the Chief Whip, has an important matter. After that, I can now come.
Speaker, the call by the Chief Whip for us to draw the curtains doesn't find favor with us. And the reasons are not far-fetched. Now, listen to me carefully. Well, effectively, we have about 13 days to ultimately pass the appropriation. Now,
We are also today at the Business Committee being counseled by leader that there is supposed to be a program of involvement of stakeholders at the budget estimate hearing. What does it mean? This is something we are doing for the first time. So there's a potential that this process will drag. I am worried that if you are not careful, this process will drag. Why? You are telling us that we should be changing our mindset and resetting and be talking about 24-hour economy. And we have we have motions to be prosecuted. We have a number of motions. Why are you in a hurry to go home? Speaker, we also have the road minister here. Why? We should ask the questions. And besides, we have about 200 questions that are still on the shelves, getting dusty on the shelves. All these questions have not been programmed. And you are in a hurry to go home. At one breath, you are preaching 24-hour economy. At another breath, we should draw the curtains and go. We won't go home. We will work. We will work. Speaker, we are opposed. We are opposed to you yourself. You don't want to go by your own 24-hour principles. We will stay. The road minister must answer his questions. There are other motions. When the majority leader was there, when he was at the dispatch box, doing a lot of propaganda, now you see you are tired. After doing all the propaganda, you see your face, you are tired. Mr. Speaker, we want to work. The road minister must answer the questions. All the motions we have listed, we must take the motions. The president is watching you. What are you doing in support of the 24-hour economy concept? You want to run home? No. Speaker, we are opposed.
Honorable members, let me say that statement time is ended. Statement time is ended. If you have to do any other business, that will not be statements again. But are you talking about us continuing?
No, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, on a different matter. Mr. Speaker, two issues. Issue number one, Mr. Speaker, I drew the attention of the finance minister to some substantial factual errors containing pages 74, 75, and 76. I pray that he would seek the leave of the House to amend the records of his budget. This is a public document. I drew his attention, and the records must not stay as they are because they are very substantial. Two, Mr. Speaker, the chief whip of the majority side is urging us to ensure tomorrow we attend Her Excellency Nana Konadu Ajiman Rawlings's funeral program. But Mr. Speaker, regrettably, yesterday at the Requiem Mass at Ridge Church, not a single member of the majority side showed up. The daughter is our colleague. The daughter, Dr. Zenato Ajiman Rawlings, is our colleague. We again did not see any government official. We again did not see any government official at the Requiem Mass. So, Mr. Speaker, if he is urging upon us that all of us must be here early enough to attend, then I would make an appeal to him that he should encourage his side as well as members of government to all be in attendance. Because yesterday, Requiem Mass, it was quite disappointing from government side. Mr. Speaker,
yes, majority chief whip.
Mr. Speaker, the minority leader is a leader of this house. The invitation that we have, is for us to attend tomorrow's funeral. Honestly, I had no idea that there was a required mass yesterday. No, honestly. please. These are very serious matters. It's a state funeral. Please don't do that.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I agree with the first part of what the minority leader, my good friend, said. But I think what he said was in a very bad taste. Mr. Speaker, not too long ago, I was sitting on the other side, and one former member of this House, Honorable Rashid Bawa, who was actually one of their parliamentary candidates in Uti region past, they even didn't write a tribute to read for him. We wrote a tribute, not a single one of them even got up to contribute to the tribute that time. That couldn't have been said to be, an oversight. So trying to score a political point out of this is neither here nor there. What we are saying is that the official program for the passing of the respected former First Lady is that we are having the funeral of the former First Lady, and we are urging everybody to have time to go there. What is the point of, those points you are making is neither here nor there. Was Parliament invited? So, Mr. Speaker, he can score his political points, but I can give a plethora of occasions where people from our side actually attended. Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the mass that was held yesterday was held at the Rich Church. Mr. Speaker, I was there. The Honorable Afenyo Markin was not there. Mr. Speaker, I was there with the General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress. Mr. Speaker, I was there before the procession of the clergy into the church. So I wasn't late. And I was there, and the clergy proceeded out. So, Mr. Speaker, it is not the case that this side of the House abandoned the mass. I was there. So, Mr. Speaker, tomorrow we'll be there in our numbers. That's all I can say.
Honorable members, please, we've all been invited to be part of the funeral service of the former First Lady, Her Excellency Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, tomorrow, Friday, 28th November 2025 at 7 a.m. And that is at the Independence Square. So we are urging all honorable members to take note and make it a point to attend. This is the time to bid our former First Lady, the mother of the Fourth Republic. Those of you who are very young and did not work with her, we know. Honorable Member, yes, that is my duty now, to lecture you. There are a lot of things you don't know. and we learned them to let you not repeat the mistakes of the past. So we have to share that information with you. So when I start sharing the information, you say, lectures. You know, my ears are very sharp. I heard you. Please. She is not just the mother of our colleague, Honorable Zanato. She is the mother of the Fourth Republic. And it is through her courage, bravery, knowledge, prowess that has elevated the role of womanhood in this country to where we are today. There were earlier starters, but what she actually did, please read. We cannot let her go in silence. We have to go in our numbers and to sound the bugle. It's very, very important, so that you teach your young ones, your children, that when you are also not there, you expect to be honored the way you honor her tomorrow. If you don't do that, many of you may go unnoticed and unheralded, and that is no good for the development of our nation. So please, let's don't once again trivialize this thing and people don't show up. I was aware, in fact, I was informed of the funeral service yesterday, but the reason why it was sent to where it took place is because the intention of the family was not to attract that crowd. We all know the rich church. And so they wanted it the way it happened. And many people might not have got that information. The official card that actually came talked about tomorrow's event. And so I don't think it's something that should have been raised on the floor for it once again to inject some bad blood into our body politics. Please, let's be careful about these things. With this, I think I'll try to acknowledge belatedly the presence of some visitors. We have students from, the way it's written, Diecha African Faith Basic School. That is Asunafo South constituency. They are led here by the assistant head teacher, Christopher Ajay Boateng, and there are 34 in number. 34 in number. Please, on your behalf, I warmly welcome them to the house. And I'm sure you've seen and heard their members speak. And I'm sure they have learned a few things which they will share at home. So please, we thank you for coming. I believe it's time really for us to adjourn proceedings. So leaders, if there's no objection, I proceed to adjourn the sitting of the House to tomorrow at, is it 12? 12, because tomorrow is Friday, 12 noon. Honorable members, sitting is accordingly adjourned.